The lights took over there for a second. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
I don't know what
The lights
happened.
started going, and I started going with them.
I think we kind of blacked out there. Haven't woke
I
up
think
sweatier since Mexico.
We hit what the kids are calling a flow state.
Are the kids calling it that still? I thought they met.
I haven't talked.
And decided
I haven't talked to anyone under the age of like 30 in a long time.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
My only two regular correspondents are 99 and 64, and now you. And now you.
You mean age? You mean ages? I thought you were giving like agent numbers issued from the Secret Service. My only contacts are Agent 99.
Oh, no, I haven't met a Secret Service member in a long time.
Since Hands Across America?
Hands Across America. We almost made it.
We almost made it, huh? Yeah. Few links in the chain.
Few breaks in the chain. So I'm trying to figure out the lighting situation. My shit's all whack.
I think if you just went with the rave lighting you had before.
The what?
Probably good idea. The rave lighting, whatever
the rave lighting
we're calling that. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. That's not no viewing hazards for the epileptic, nothing. That's
so that's if you're wondering why I wasn't doing that, I'd already thought about any of our future viewers who could have had those issues.
That is why you are living in 3017.
You are a silly boy.
Silly Billy boy.
Silly Billy boy. That's you.
I'm hopping us into a best ball millionaire now, DraftKings.
Are we gonna win $1 million tonight?
No, we're gonna win $3 million tonight.
Name 10 $3 million.
I bet you can't.
I can't. I don't even know what I told you to do.
I don't even know one $3 million.
I don't think I've ever met one. At least not for
I met one.
A long time.
I wish I met one.
Maybe the dude who used to own the bar that I worked at, like between the two bars that I worked at on the west side, maybe those guys might have been worth like $3 million. But I don't know.
I for sure met people who are worth at least that. You can work.
Well, yeah, you went to college.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to college, kids. You can meet people who are worth $3 million.
You might even meet $3 million.
You might meet 10 of them. No guarantees, though. It's no guarantees.
We are in this draft now, by the way. Let me go and share the draft screen.
Are we pick number 3?
We are pick number 8.
Number 3, my lord.
Pick number 3. Pick number 3, my lord.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Yeah, we're pick number 8. Man, all that dancing got me excited to draft a $3 million best ball team.
It definitely woke me up. I was gonna fall asleep on stream tonight.
That would be entertaining. Well, let's just take naps independently. I've got the bed behind me and the bassinet. It might be entertaining if I try and sleep in the bassinet.
Live stream our naps.
Yeah, live stream on Twitch. Handle hashtag Z's, Aziz and
Hashtag
Zari.
getting some Z's.
Hashtag
All right.
All right. Is that like Ted Lasso?
I am
All
watching
right.
Ted Lasso right now.
The All Right had his just perfect acceptance of people.
Oh no, it's just because I'm from Texas and I can put that on whenever I want.
Oh, I see. So you're fake.
I can be, but I'm usually pretty not fake.
Faker.
But I can have a fake accent when I choose to. I can't get like a Kentucky one. This is more just like general South.
Kentucky?
More like East Texas South. But like our family's from East Texas, so I don't feel like I'm faking too hard.
Yeah, but it's not like you speak with it every day.
Grandpa talked like that.
Grandpa did, but you ain't grandpa.
I do what Grandpa did.
I don't care what the paternity test says. You ain't my real grandpa.
No, I'm your brother. Are you having a stroke?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a stroke?
This is super nuanced, but that's a billboard back home, and I won't explain the joke any further than that.
Couldn't believe it was made. Felt like there were just better ways to get the message across. All right.
We're on the clock here. Yeah. Do we want to go Jefferson, St. Brown, Cook?
I'm going away from Jefferson everywhere. I like Cook a lot. I like CD and I like St. Brown.
What? Just because it's early on.
CD. We have no CD anywhere.
CD. I don't think that's true. I think he's like our preferred first round click so far.
It's true.
But I haven't been keeping track of it. The myth of the killer.
I wrote down our first few drafts, and if we did take him, it was in one of those ones.
Yep. He's a big part of my eliminator strategy this year, the week 14 bye week. And then, like I like him as much as I like anybody else. I think anybody in this first round really can be the guy you need in week 17.
Except for Justin Jefferson. Don't trust that dude.
You don't trust him because of the Kyler Murray situation, but that's fair because
I don't trust the receiver because the guy throwing him the football is not good.
Yeah, because of Kyler Murray. He's what they say.
Let me check this out. Yeah, we got no Lamb. We've talked about him a lot, but we haven't drafted him anywhere.
Mary had no little lamb. But now,
unless he was in like the third or fourth draft that we did, like on our fourth stream.
I can't say, but someone whose username is the Trojan Midget just took Kenneth Walker.
Kind of early for a Kenny Walker pick.
No, it's right.
Running backs are a little scarce right now. Unless you believe in Hampton, I don't know if I do.
I think, like I said, he's got as good of a chance as anyone in this range. I think Henry is my preference here, but I have the less of London.
Oh, whichever guy you want to grab here, man.
Let's go double receiver to start because we've been going
running back heavy for a little while.
Yeah. So this will make us get a little different, though. The more I think about the Atlanta situation, the team spot as a whole, and Tua coming in to Stefanski-led offense, I might be unnecessarily limiting myself, but I'm kind of scared that team's gonna just gonna suck. The defense isn't going to be very good as far as any reports that I know of say. We'll see what happens. But so you take a bad defense, and that means the other team's offense is on the field a lot more, less opportunities for your offense. And then you add in Tua, who seemingly hasn't thrown farther than 5 yards down the field since Tyreek was healthy like 2 years ago. It's hard to
More Jalen Waddle than Tyreek Hill, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't have him either. Now they do have London, and London's really big
They have
body,
good receivers in
they
Atlanta.
got decent targets between Pitts, London. I do like some of the depth pieces there too. With
they have
Branch,
the problem is they're like from their wide receiver 2 to their wide receiver 5 or 6 or whatever it is, they're all wide receiver 3 level. So like they don't have a real traditional number 2 guy to go across Drake London.
Who else did they add this year? They brought in some Dusty.
You mean just like an older receiver?
Yeah, like Nick Westbrook-Akine, maybe. Someone picked him up, but no. You know who it is? They brought in Olamide Zaccheaus. That's who I was thinking of.
I was gonna say Zaccheaus, but I didn't.
Olamide.
I didn't want to sound goofy.
Now they do have Jahan Dotson too, who I really like, and he was a good prospect. But man, this
Tua a lot in Washington. In fact, I loved him in Washington. I had a lot of Dotson every year. Like every year, I would pick up Dotson.
We got Dotson here.
Dotson. We got Dotson. I care. See, I care. And everybody who watches this will care.
Yep, all one of them.
Hey, we get views. Not a lot, but like we get some.
We get some on the shorts. We'll keep going. We'll keep plugging in it. We're building.
I don't think I can convince people to watch us draft for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like,
we just have to be substantially more entertaining. But we got it. Hey, we're on the clock here. Josh Jacobs sound good, or Kyron, or?
I like Etienne best in this range. Or T. Higgins. Yeah,
I got Etienne on the dock.
Yeah. Or T. Higgins, either one. And then on the flip, if Egbuka falls to us, I like him.
Focusing on the running backs there alone, the Jacobs, Kyron, Etienne, how are you navigating those 3 in particular?
I'm ignoring them, and I'm drafting. I'll take a running back
2 rounds earlier in the first and second round.
Here's the thing: is I try to go running back heavy first, second round. If I can't get them, I try to go in the 4th round where I'll get somebody like Javonte Williams. And then if not, then I'll go 5th round, David Montgomery. Like there's usually running backs I feel a little bit more confident in. Like,
yeah, well, it's a proposition bet as a whole on the position. So it's basically like, are the running backs in rounds 1 and 2 going to be substantially better than the ones in rounds 3 through 5? Yeah, they feel like that way. All of Jonathan Taylor, Gibbs, Bijan, and McCaffrey, even though the reports of the reduced workload, right, are coming in.
Well, you kind of want that for him, though, too. I don't really want him to get 30 touches a game. I think he can be a little bit more effective and a little bit more explosive if they trim him down to 20, 23.
For our purposes in this specific fantasy format, I can see him get more touches as the season goes on when they need the wins more and more toward the end of the year. He gets loaded up, and that's hopefully during the fantasy playoffs, right? 15, 16, 17, or weeks 15, 16, 17. And if that's what happens, that's great. He's a steal at pick 8 or whatever.
Oh, Javonte. Let's just go heavy.
Back on the horse. So, yeah, I can see him being a very good pick. I just worry, with the age, the injury history, the 49ers electrical.
Yeah, the scientific stuff coming out. Oh, dude, you start him up? Okay.
Yeah, got him started up. It will annoy some people that I let the clock completely drain out there, but
it kind of annoyed me.
It's kind of like 1 a.m. so I'm just gonna let it go. I don't care enough to
quick draft. it's the exact same amount of buttons to click draft as it was to click star.
My cursor has been sometimes having a mind of its own as of late. So if I get the click in, that's going to be good enough for me.
Okay. So it just has to be something has to be clicked.
It's having its own rave party sometimes in the middle of my other screen. It'll just snap right to the other and then start like clicking.
Rave party?
Yeah, that's what my cursor looks like.
That's not good.
No, it's really annoying, and it ends up selecting things I don't want selected and then opening it up.
You should get a new mouse.
I think I looked it up and it's something to do with either background processes running or the drivers. So, I went through the whole driver installation gauntlet. And then, I've got I ended a lot of background processes and it hasn't done it since, but it's still very sensitive. So I don't want to chance it, but
I feel
either way.
Yeah, I've had bad drivers before, man. They take you to the wrong place, and then you got to be like, because you're like a little bit of an introvert, you get a little embarrassed. You got to be like, yeah, this is where I wanted to go. And then you got to get a whole new driver to take you to the place that you actually wanted to go.
Yeah,
unless it was kind of close by, then you like walk a little bit.
Just so you can go and double click on a person in real life.
Swipe right in real life, like the commercial.
Swipe right, IRL.
Yeah, that's where you.
Hey, how are you today?
Go talk to them.
How are you today? Swipe.
That's where you grab their head and you shove them to the right. I like you.
Yeah. And left, you try and like bash it in on a nearby object just to let them know like you're not interested.
Well, that's not. I don't like that. You don't do that.
But it's got to go left.
You just can't do stuff like that. I don't agree.
No, it's called assault.
That is assault. You can't do
yeah, that's kind of assault.
I literally just went on a rant the other day about how NFL players needed to be held to a higher standard about their assault shit. We can't be doing it. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. I got to stop assaulting people when I reject them in real life.
That's when you reject them. It's usually the other way around.
I swipe left.
It's usually the other way around. I like Keyshawn. I like Joe Burrow in this range if we don't want to wait for quarterbacks. I like Jadarian Price.
Let's go Price.
I don't like Green Bay receivers just on principle.
I'm going Price just to vary it up a little bit, and I'm also trying to avoid the Judkins spot a little more as the summer goes on. I haven't been getting any good injury news. And the offense as a whole should probably suck relative to what you can get with the Seattle starting running back, with Green Bay's number one receiver, even with TreVeyon Henderson. I know he had a bad run out in the playoffs. The team went back to Ramondre. When you watch those games, so much of was situationally. New England's offense had a top 5 defense on the other side. With their foot on Drake May's throat, there was only so much, and the offensive line for that matter.
Yeah, it's because their offense really wasn't good.
There was only so much a speedy space guy is gonna succeed when the opposite defense is playing like that, and that's to say, when you go look at Henderson's ceiling games, because he had multiple 30-pointers and a couple of 20s, if I remember. When he really succeeded, it was usually against these bad teams, right? And Ramondre was still a little bit out of the mix, but he got healthy as the season went on. I can just see a path in year 2 that he is much more integrated throughout the year regularly. He takes a small step forward. Not that I think Ramondre will go back up. We're on the clock here.
You want to get your guy Tootin boy?
I like mixing in Tootin. I'm not necessarily sold that he's the savior everyone thinks he is this year, but yeah, the Jaguars offense looks great, and
I just don't like anybody else other than Parker Washington.
I want to go Parker Washington because I have much less of him than I have of Tootin, and that's a different way to bet on that Jaguars spot like we were talking about. I think he can be good. Oh, and then the other thing is we had 3 running backs.
It does fill up it fills up the receiver spot.
Yeah,
that's good.
But I don't know. So the interesting part about the Jags to me this year is what they did in the draft. They took 2 tight ends. Some would say well ahead of where those guys should have gone. One of them is a very good pass catcher, and then that was their second round pick, and then the other one's more of a blocking tight end. But taking 2 tight ends on a team that already had Brendan Strange, tell like a more of a pass catcher who can block a little bit, tells me these guys are probably going to run with that tight end heavy look that a lot of the NFL is sort of shifting into.
Yep.
2 tight end personnel and 3, probably not 3 as much as 2, because they do have talented receivers between Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, and of course Parker Washington. But so let's say they go 2 tight end sets heavier and they drafted 2 tight ends. So why wouldn't we expect this? Who's going to be on the field for those 2 wide receiver sets the most? Undoubtedly, you think Jacoby Myers is out there, but he's a career slot guy, so who knows? Parker Washington, I don't really know what position he plays, but that's the question to me with these Jags receivers. And then Thomas profiles as more of the traditional like X outside receiver. But that to me means Thomas is actually on the field. And Parker Washington, as I understand, the kind of routes he was running last year was over the middle, more of the slot types. But Jacoby Myers is also a slot type, but he's a little bigger. So I don't know who's out there for the 2 receiver sets, but I do know that Parker Washington outplayed all the other receivers last year by far on the Jaguars. He was amazing. And that could mean that he was overperforming relative to he had a ceiling, in other words, like that's his peak, and we're buying the peak price, which is not good, which is kind of what we think about Alec Pierce too. Like he overperformed relative to what the situation was, like what he should have. And
Take
we're
us
again
off the auto draft real quick.
Yeah. Where it's like we're buying them at their ceiling price because I can't see them outperforming this too much at the same time.
Right. Take us to the players.
Yeah. Dak.
That's who I'd pick.
Yeah.
I like if he's not available there though. I like nobody else. Maybe Warren.
I love Tucker Kraft.
The backfield got really crowded there. I just don't like Green Bay in general.
Tucker Kraft before his injury in week 8 had 100 half-point PPR points.
Who did they draft? Drake May?
Yeah, they took Drake May at last. So we got Dak.
That's goofy.
I would not take May over Dak unless I had May stacked up.
With what? Kiki
Within no, I mean AJ Brown is likely to go there. If AJ Brown doesn't, I was trying to find that team to see if it made sense for his roster.
Just gotta check the board.
Yeah, true. No doubt.
I think it's MCP. Oh no, there you go.
It's this guy.
Semen.
He had no New England, so maybe he's going for a backstack later. Doesn't matter. I don't like Drake May as much as I like Dak this year, though.
I like Drake May at all.
I think he's a good talent. I think he's going to succeed this coming year. I think the Patriots offense as a whole will take a step back because they're not going to play as easy competition. But that's kind of easy to say, though, right? Like they didn't have an AJ Brown last year. They had Stephon Diggs, who succeeded most in the slot. But it wasn't like he was taking coverage of the defense with him by any stretch.
I don't know. Stephon Diggs, all personal problems aside, generates separation. AJ Brown does not do that. And I'm not confident in Drake May as a tight window thrower to get AJ Brown the ball where he needs it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think that I guess my base point is the entire offense, talent-wise, is going to take a step forward. So even though their schedule's going to get harder than it was last year, I don't see it as being like the end of the world for this Patriots offense, who's really young, relatively speaking, everywhere. And,
they're going to be bad this year.
They might not win the division with the
No,
Dolphins,
they're going to be like
with the Dolphins.
500 or worse. They're not going to be good this year.
I think their over under is 9.5. You should probably take the
I'm
under.
taking the under so hard.
Who do you want here? We have a 1-3-3 build so far. It looks like the quarterbacks are all the best picks. I don't mind Laporta here.
I'm okay with Fannin, but
like
you don't like the
Dowdle.
Browns offense. That's okay. I like the Rico pick just to kind of round out running backs for now.
Yeah,
We won't
do you
have
like him
to-
over Fannin or?
Yeah,
Okay.
over Fannin for sure.
Okay, start up Rico.
Yeah, I'll take any RB2 that has a 50-50-ish split with another guy over most tight ends.
I like shoring up running back here. We got 4 through the first 100 picks of the draft, and to me that's a great spot because all the running backs after this serious question
It's
marks.
handcuffs.
At best, you have handcuff upside, or the last guy with the last dudes with true standalone roles here are Corum, Dobbins,
The Minnesota guys.
yeah, Rodriguez, Mason, yeah, but after that, it's all just handcuff.
Everybody else things have to
Except
go
for
their way.
Sean Tucker's the last guy who's got a carved out role, which is the goal line role. So I think he's just still at the back of drafts. But my point being, 4 through the first 100 is great because we really only need to go like 5 running backs now, and we can load up at the other positions.
And now we can just grab a handcuff to any of our top guys if we can find. Kamara's going late in drafts. We can pick him up.
Malik Davis at the end of the draft, I think, is the best.
Sense.
Yeah, handcuff.
Charbonnet at the end of the draft makes a lot of sense.
Only if we think he comes back this year and that he's ready to perform.
I'm pretty sure he's going to come back this year. Pretty much all reports I'm seeing right now is that he's not going to be ready. Like he might not be ready for week 1, but he is going to come back.
Well, I'd rather have, I think, like Emmanuel Wilson.
Whoever the handcuff is, that's the point.
Well, specifically, whoever the pass catching handcuff is, because Price and Charbonnet are going to do
probably going to be Charbonnet.
They're going to do similar things. Charbonnet doesn't
because they'll more than likely a reduced role for a lot of these older running backs will look like they'll start catching the ball a little bit more rather than running between the tackles.
Charbonnet's not an older running back, though. I think he's still pretty.
No, but he's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
And that's what a reduced role would look like.
I just think that his skill set isn't the same as Holani's or Emmanuel Wilson, both who I can see catching passes a little more than Jadarian Price and Charbonnet. And I think that Charbonnet is a good goal line back, and Price is probably going to be a good goal line back. And they're both the bigger bodies. My point being, when Charbonnet comes back, I think he eats into Price's workload. But Emmanuel Wilson, on the other hand, is going to skate by that because I think his passing down usage will stay the same. His role will remain unchanged. Maybe he loses overall volume, but he'll be out there
for the other way with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Price is going to be completely safe. You don't spend a first-round pick on a guy unless you're ready to give him the backfield.
He's going to have the chance to.
You're giving him the backfield. This is your first-round draft pick. He's going to have about 3 years of true lead dog work, regardless of whether or not he performs. That's just what you do. Unless they cut their losses early. A few teams have done that, like Green Bay with Eddie Lacy, but
I've seen first-round running backs not work out to where
it's not that they don't work out or this or that. It's that they're going to get the opportunity and a lot of it. They're going to get at least 18 games of opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we're saying the same thing. He's going to get the opportunity.
18 games of opportunity. They're not going to cut into Jadarian Price's workload. They're going to cut into everybody else's.
I mean, we'll see for what they need. Right now, we're on the clock. Quarterbacks are the best picks, but it's a 1-4-3 build so far.
Any of them, I guess. Just not Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Let's get Herbo this time.
Yeah, we got a lot of Mahomes early.
He's fell 20 picks past the draft, his normal spot. So yeah, we're gonna take him. I think about the Chargers situation more and more. They're going to be really good this year. they're going to. They're just going to be really good this year. They brought in an OC that for the first time in Herbert's like career, pretty much, he's going to have someone who knows what they're doing when they're calling plays. The talent around everyone took a step forward. They brought in Njoku at tight end. The running backs are all solid from the third string guy on up. Keaton Mitchell, Vidal showed a lot of flash last year as a workhorse and as a change of pace guy, which is probably the role he'll play to Omari and Hampton. And Hampton, when he was healthy, like kicked ass. Herbo, like this is the best quarterback Mike McDaniel's had by far. I just really, the more I think about it, it feels kind of obvious how good the Chargers are going to be this year, provided the offensive line stays healthy.
I think you're talking yourself into some stuff here, man. They'll be good. 10 wins, 11 wins.
But look at where they're being priced at. Like Herbo's going.
I mean, as far as offensive production goes, I mean, it's up in the air. The AFC West got a lot better on defense in the offseason.
We got 15 seconds on this clock. We're at 2-4-3. Probably Worthy or Kincaid for me here.
Kincaid, but I mean, I'd rather have Kelsey or Ferguson rather than Kincaid.
I'm gonna start up Kelsey here. Fergo goes quite later. We need a tight end.
If we wanted tight end in this round, it's Kelsey. If we wanted to wait, it's Ferguson.
We got him. Let's focus in on our team here for just a second. So 2-4-3-1. So far with Dak and Justin Herbert at quarterback.
We should have taken Ferguson.
We still can. I'm saying he doesn't go till pick 127. And that's about where we pick next.
Well, he may or may not fall. We'll see what happens.
May or may not, but we have Dak, and there are lots of good tight ends around him. So he may fall back to us.
Well, yeah, it's more about just securing the stack. I don't know who the Chargers starting tight end is.
Yeah, nobody does, right? That's a big situation because Njoku being brought in means that the rookie they had that actually had some ceiling games last year, Oronde Gadsden.
That's Gadsden, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're just switching to the two tight end look, and Njoku did that a lot in Cleveland, so they might.
That's what people are thinking. But then you know what? Which receivers do they play? They have Trey Harris, who's a really big blocking receiver, basically out of Mississippi State.
That could be another reason why they're bringing in Njoku too. He's a really good pass catcher as well.
Yeah, Njoku's super explosive. You can see that working out very well for them. Whereas Gadsden, like,
I would like to get a piece of both of them, to be honest, just across different drafts. I'd be picking one or the other, maybe even both. Man, there's a situation here where they have an Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski type build.
Yeah, someone mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I did right now.
But I think the other offense that profiles exactly that way is the Raiders too, between Michael Mayer and Brock
they're
Ballard.
trying. They're trying. We'll see what happens with this quarterback play this year, but they are absolutely trying to build that kind of situation.
Yeah.
I hope the offensive line gets better because I do want to see what Fernando Mendoza can do, you know, without any asterisks. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, if his offensive line was better or if his receivers could catch. Like, I don't want to have that. I want to see what he can do.
We'll see when he actually gets starts, because the team's saying like they want Kirk Cousins to start the season. I could see him
finish the season.
I could see him having a 4-game season, and I can see him not taking over till the bye week, which I think for the Raiders like week 13. And we looked at the schedule last time, and we saw that they're likely to have a lot of losses anyways by that bye week. But there's stretches of the season where you could totally see Cousins getting benched, and at the same time, I could see the coaching staff just wanting to keep Cousins in there to protect Mendoza from the heart of the schedule. We're on the clock here, by the way. Ferguson.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is maybe shifting to Jalen Coker if you want to get that guaranteed.
I'd rather go Coker here between the two. Up to you, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
maybe Ferguson falls anyways because the tight end talent is still great around here and stuff. To wrap up Mendoza, I think the Raiders offense has the potential to do because of Kubiak. They could like Kubiak's last 3 years have all been elite offensive production. The Saints were scoring 40-point games just 2 years ago before Derek Carr had that injury when
Yeah.
they took down the Eagles in week 4 or whatever. And then the entire year before in 2023 was one of the best offenses in the league. Kubiak then goes to Seattle, right? And fixes Darnold, who the fuck can do that? No, I'm just kidding.
There's
Darnold was
nothing
pretty good
wrong
in
with Darnold. The only
Minnesota.
thing wrong with Darnold is that he played for the Jets.
Yeah, that's true.
It's literally the only thing ever wrong with quarterbacks who go through that system is that they play for that system.
Do you think Geno is tainted too then, or?
No, he got out of there and played all right pretty much everywhere else. Well, I mean, Vegas, but Vegas is Vegas.
Vegas was the Jets last year. So, yeah.
They were awful.
They even had Geno at quarterback to just fully show everyone that they were the actual New York Jets last
They
year.
were like, we don't copy paste. That's what we want.
Okay, so recapping the team real quick. Got Dak and Justin Herbert, ETN, Javonte Williams, Jarian Price, Rico Dowdle.
Go to players. Go to players. We have 20 seconds.
You got this.
Go to all.
I think it's receiver here, though.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Diggs looks the best.
No.
We only have 4.
Think again.
Take your pick then.
Just pick a different receiver. Any different receiver.
All right, we're going to go Shaheed since I was just talking up the Seahawks. I do like McMillan here a bit.
That was the name that jumped out to me, but yeah.
But I do think Diggs was going to, whenever he signs with the team, his ADP is going to go up like 20, 30 picks.
Well, good for everybody else who gets him.
Well, he's got to, like, I think he's locked in at like 12 full PPR points a game for most teams he signs with.
There are receivers who will put that same production who do not have the same issues that he has.
The only question is, do you think the people around him or later, can we get enough for this team?
Of them. Yeah, a few of them. I don't, dude. You talk about aging this, aging that. You got to start making sure that you add Stephon Diggs to that list because his younger brother looked old as hell last year.
Diggs still looked good though, and
no,
that was
not really.
Terms earlier this very.
Not really. I mean, yeah, everybody in the Patriots offense looked good until they played real teams, and then they looked like dog shit. Like they're not good. They just played really weak competition, and that's not the case again this year. So you can't bank on that production going up or even staying the same. It's gonna go down. And Diggs is going to go to a team thinking that he's still contender level of a player, and he's going to wind up being wide receiver 3 on a roster, just like Terrell Owens, just like Chad Ochocinco, just like every other, just like Dez Bryant, just like AJ Green
that don't have a receiver, like much receiver competition.
I'm saying Chad Ochocinco went to the receiver-less Patriots and was wide receiver 3. Like Terrell Owens went to a bunch of teams who had no receivers ever in their history.
Do you think Diggs is already past that point?
Yeah, yes, dude. I thought he was past that 2.5 years ago. Like his last,
he had a really solid year last year. You were even just saying he could still get separation.
With a team that played shitty players, they played college level talent and college level coaches. All
what does it have to do with how Diggs played?
He played good against who he played against, but if he goes to a contender, that's not going to be the case this year. He's going to have better talent on the team around him, which means that he's going to get no targets. He's going to play against better defenses, which means he's going to get no opportunities. And he's not very good right now, which means he's probably not going to see the field very much. You talk about aging with everybody, but
I got more to say, but we're on the clock here. 20 seconds left. It's a 2-4-5-1 build so far. I queued up Chigo Okonkwo. Did you want someone else here?
Nah, not really.
Okay. I think Keaton Mitchell makes sense for with Herbert.
I don't believe in the Tennessee situation right now.
Yeah, let's get our second tight end here just to shore up because I don't like the drop off after this tier, between Henry and Schultz. This is about where I draw the line. And Joku's got a bunch of upside. We may end up taking him on this team since we have Justin Herbert anyways. But I
Yeah.
can't see the volume being there guaranteed week to week the way that I can see with Schultz. And if you're down on the Patriots overall, Henry's real appeal is just the 6 to 7 touchdowns he's going to get. But you're saying everyone's going
We can get 6 touchdowns out of Schultz, probably.
Yeah, probably. I could see 6. He didn't score a lot last season, but he was a volume
What is that,
merchant.
3?
He was a
He
volume
had a
merchant.
ton of targets. He did most of his work probably between the 20s is what it looks
It was
like.
he was the short release route. I watched a lot of the Texans last year,
So
especially
very
in the
Jason
playoff
Witten
stint.
type playing.
The other part was Stroud was throwing to dudes like Xavier Hutchinson, John Mechie, and Jalen Noel rookie, Jaden Higgins rookie when Collins was injured. And
Yeah.
Collins was injured in some of the most important games last season. Also, the Houston offense doesn't need to throw a lot because their defense is ballers, right? So they're always
Hit that
stopping
all
offenses.
button real quick.
All
But
that to
Houston
say,
also
Stroud-
has good runners too.
Stroud
Go to
didn't
the all
trust.
tab. We're not going to
Stroud-
draft the tight end right now. Go to the all tab.
Oh, sorry. Stroud didn't trust the receivers around him, and so Schultz just kind of ate up all the other work.
Damn, we might have to draft a tight end right now. Everybody sucks.
I think I'd take Mendoza here to get that third quarterback. He's the last one that's going to get any serious playing time, and the one that we think is starting week 17, and we don't know if anybody else
You
is.
said Mendoza's not going to start till after the bye week.
I'd still take him because he's the only one that's good as that we know will start week 17.
Are there any running backs or receivers who are worth a shit right now?
Yeah, there's a few. Algier, Spears, Robinson, Bigsby.
I like Kamara as a handcuff, but we can wait for Malik Davis.
You want to get Mendoza?
Not really, but sure.
We missed our pick. We got Hunter Henry.
It is better than Mendoza.
Third tight end. I would have rather have sat on third tight end for a few rounds later. We just missed our pick there because we weren't talking it through before enough. I think Mendoza just to get the week 17 points at quarterback, though. The only other one I can see from that I know is going to start week 17 is very likely Beck. And that's a total dice roll. Penix, I think, will come back and win the job immediately from Tua when he comes back healthy.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that when Penix is healthy, he's going to be the starter.
So we do have a Drake. This is a Drake London team. Maybe we try for Penix later on. We're solid at quarterback though.
Who did we wind up drafting? Like what tight end?
Yeah, Hunter Henry. Your favorite.
We drafted Hunter Henry.
Yeah, he's at the top.
Well, this team isn't winning shit.
I think those touchdowns will go a long way too, because that's the only time he's gonna beat the volume that Kelsey and Okonkwo are generate.
Yeah, he's gonna get more touchdowns than Kelsey probably.
He's as good.
It's Kelsey's swan song, so there might be some forced volume.
I hope it works out for him, but at the same time, I kind of hate the Chiefs, but I like all the players, so.
Well, we kind of need this season to go well for them. We have a lot of Chiefs stock all the way around.
Yeah,
like we've picked them up in a lot of places. So you need to stop that. I don't like the Chiefs. You need to say, "Hey, go Kansas City, Witten. You were right to cheer for them."
Go Kenneth Walker. Really is who I've got the most in by far. Him and Mahomes though. Mahomes at pick 90 this year is just free money.
Yeah, we got just a lot
of free square on the bingo card.
And we have quite a bit of Kelsey too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we usually wind up drafting Kelsey Ferguson as our tight ends.
What's weird about that though is the receiver situation. As much as I like Mahomes, I don't know what the fuck to do with Rashi. Like, I guess I'm just drafting him now because he's falling.
Yeah.
And the NFL, I don't think is likely to take any additional suspension.
I can't believe that he's literally spending time in fucking prison, but whatever.
But unless it's a violent offense, they usually don't double dip. Okay, we need to talk through a pick here. We're going to save the quarterback for later. So we have 4 running backs, 5 receivers. Running backs send out to me. I like Singleton. I like Bigsby the best. Receivers, Judy.
We need one of our handcuff guys.
Flanoy.
I like Flanoy probably the best right now, to be honest.
All right, let's grab Flanoy.
Because we're probably going to cap out at like 5 running backs, so we can wait for Malik Davis.
If you are new to this channel and everyone is new to this channel, we have mentioned Ryan Flanoy probably the most from any player available. We
And I
think
won't
he's an
stop.
absolute smash back here.
Can't stop, won't stop. That dude is going to fucking blow it out the water this year, man.
Even if he just repeated half of his elite and floor performances last year, he is paying off this pick. You can absolutely see him get like 2-3 games here over 20 points. It makes no sense to me why he's going so far back over behind other question marks like Ayuk, Malik Washington, Chris Bell. Like these names should not be around him. I think he belongs like 20 picks ahead of this. And the
I
Travis
think Dell
Hunter
belongs
group.
around him, though, to be fair.
Yeah, so the reason we started this stream by saying we like running back heavy early is because of all these receiver upside plays.
I mean, even then, you're getting somebody like Cooper Kupp, Malachi Fields, Calvin Ridley, if you believe in his hands this year.
Yeah. Hey, we're back on the clock here. We've got a
receiver.
2-4-6-3, so we're probably looking at running back. Do you want to do Singleton? I like Kamani Vidal for our team. I like Ray Davis.
Are we going 6 running backs?
We can sit on it for Malik Davis later and grab another wide receiver. You want to go Tank Dell?
Yeah, that's a lot of upside. Yeah, a lot of upside in Tank Dell.
This
I
back
feel like
half,
there's medium upside in Cooper Kupp, but because there's like, because Jadarian Price can't catch the ball out of the backfield, and you mentioned 2 other running backs who have that similar skill set. I feel like the passing game is probably not going to be too prosperous for everybody.
It's open. It's an open question right now if Jadarian Price is going to catch balls out of the backfield because he just didn't do it at Notre Dame.
I mean, he did. Like Jordan Love wasn't like he missed the whole season.
Jadarian Price did not catch very many.
Are you going to tell me he had 0 catches for 0 yards his entire time at Notre Dame? That's what you're going to look me in the video cam and say.
Well, I think you just
0 catches for 0 yards in his entire career at college.
I think you took the extreme negative position of what I'm saying. You turned it into a straw man, which is kind of not relevant.
You said he didn't catch the ball.
I'm saying, is he going to catch in the NFL? Well,
I'm saying he had to in college, and that skill set will translate into the
Jadarian
NFL.
Price caught just 15 receptions.
That's 15 more than you implied.
Across his 41 game college career.
15 more than you implied with your initial statement, Troy.
15 is lower than I imagined. I thought I was gonna be justifiably saying this guy does not catch passes at Notre Dame.
No,
with like a 30 or 40.
Can you look up Jeremiah Love's passing receptions real quick? Because if I remember correctly, they pretty much used Jadarian Price as a primarily like pass blocker when he was in on those situations. But if I do. And if I'm thinking about Notre Dame's offense correctly, I'm thinking that they just didn't throw the ball a lot to running backs.
You'd probably be wrong about that because
how many times did he catch the ball?
Yeah, I'm about to find out. But Jeremiah Love is getting glowing remarks for his route running.
Well, he's good at it.
He caught 4 times as many passes, 63.
So 60 over his 4 years there, 3 years there.
Let's find out.
So they're just not throwing the ball to the running back at Notre Dame, is what I'm gathering.
Well, it depends on how many games he actually played.
Played enough to be the 3rd overall pick. Take me to the players tab.
Jeremiah Love played 41 games, so 60 receptions. Yeah, that's not a lot. He's catching, 2 to 3 a game or 1.5 a game or something?
Yeah, so I watched a lot of Notre Dame games over the last few years just because I live with Dad. They run the ball, And then they play teams like when they throw the ball, it's to the receivers. And that's why I'm so high on guys like Malachi Fields when they come out, because like I had to watch them. I mean, I say I had to. Like it was kind of cool. They were good players, but like I just kind of had to watch them.
Yeah, a lot of run blocking from the accessory pieces there. We're about to be on the clock again. We got
Good
a
stuff.
2-4-7-3. This is about where Penix starts to make sense. We can probably sit on him to the next turn. We have 4 running backs so far, so we can lock up that 5th, or we can keep hammering receiver here.
I mean, I kind of like Cooper Cup. I don't want any part of Ayuk or Christian Kirk just because I don't believe in him to stay healthy. Zach
like
Branch
80?
might be all right.
Yeah, I prefer Branch over Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't
especially if
like.
we're gonna go Penix.
I know you asked about Mitchell like in passing real quick. I don't like Jets pass catchers on principle, but
Yeah,
with Geno throwing the ball, it might be better.
AD Mitchell he's probably like a top 20, and I'm saying this in all seriousness. He's probably a top 20 receiver skill wise.
Right.
He just cannot catch consistently. That's his one like
Oh,
skill
so he's Kadarius Toney
deficiency.
basically.
And also he ends up playing for these situations like the Colts last year with the mix of Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson for a season before. So he found himself as a third receiver on a team that wasn't these are not air raid offenses with suspect pass throwers. And then he goes to the Jets. This guy at Texas, the UT Austin, was one of the better receivers in the nation. And in the NFL, he separates, he wins his routes, and he's a big physical presence. And if he just caught the ball
And then he
every
dropped
time,
the
or at
ball.
least
Okay.
90%.
So
Yeah, the team would trust him a little more. And he also
that's
does this thing. He also fumbles. He puts the ball on the ground, and then he kind of makes his reputation. The reason he got traded from the Colts in the first place, because he has this reputation as a bonehead. He did something like kind of like the equivalent of the Deshaun Jackson, put the ball on the 1
on
yard
the
line
1 yard
before you
line.
go in the end zone. I think he literally did that. I might be mistaken, but all that said, they added a lot of the Jets added a lot of pass catchers in the
Yeah,
draft.
they drafted a
And
receiver in the first round. I'm not touching any Jets pass
Sadiq
catchers who aren't. Yeah,
and
that's not.
Sadiq, right? So
Yeah,
2 pass catchers.
and
But
that's I'm
Mitchell
not.
has a talent to rise above that, I think, if they had enough volume
He
and
apparently
passing.
doesn't have the hands for it. So if there's one thing you can bet on in the NFL, it's that a receiver who can't catch is not going to get targets.
But what if he could? What if he
We
could,
can't.
you know?
We can't.
But you
And
can
we're not
imagine
going to
it'd be
play the
like
what
if
if
he
he
did,
could
right?
catch because he can't. I
Um,
like a third quarterback here because a
yeah,
few of
let's
these
lock him
guys
up.
actually make sense. Penix, I like. I
Yeah,
like
I like
JJ
Penix the best.
McCarthy. I like
You
Cooper
don't like
Rush.
McCarthy. You don't like
Nobody
McCarthy.
likes JJ McCarthy. That's
Yeah.
why I followed him up with Cooper Rush.
I like
I
Trevor.
actually
Was
do
that
kind of
Trevor
like Quinn
McKee?
Ewers. Like
Tanner
I'm
McKee?
unironically, I do like Quinn Ewers,
I'm
but
a big
that's just
McKee
because I'm a
guy.
Texas fan. I know Justin Fields will get some looks this year just because I feel like Mahomes isn't gonna like if he is ready for week 1, they might take it a little slow on his comeback.
I'm very confident that Mahomes is playing week 1 because of the NFL schedule. This is not my original point, but it just makes sense when you look at it. The NFL put what is it, Denver Chiefs week 1, and it's let's take a look at the Chiefs schedule here.
So that explains a lot of the posts I've been seeing. People are legitimately upset that their division games scheduled the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yes, it's kind of rough, but this
I
is the
don't think it's
NFL.
rough. That's football, dog. Like if
Yeah,
you're
that's what I'm
telling me that
saying.
you weren't ready to play week 1 and you get paid to play football, I hate you. Like that's
That's
your
how I feel
whole
about
job.
it too. I think you got to be ready to go. So
It's your whole job.
it's not just that they scheduled the Broncos week 1. That's Monday Night Football. So that's a Monday nighter. Yeah, the NFL
So
called the
you think
Chiefs
that
and
one extra day of rest will make Mahomes' knee miraculously heal?
No, that's besides the point. The one
No,
issue there is
I
that
know, I know. I'm just saying it was a pretty serious injury, and he sustained it late in the season. And I know modern science is fantastic,
he's
but
rehabbing 7 hours a day.
that could be counterproductive.
Yeah, that's what people say when they hear the 7-hour mark.
So the problem is rehabbing 7 hours a day means he's probably doing physical therapy for like an hour and a half. And
And
then it's
putting
like
ketchup
five
on
and a
his
half
steak for the
hours
other
of
5
different
hours.
forms of rest and relaxation. Or
Yeah.
4.5 hours, whatever it is. 5.5, 4.5 hours of rest and relaxation. 7 hours of rehab a day, depending on what it is.
7
could be
hours of commercial-free football starts now, except we can't say commercial-free anymore because we added in ads.
As somebody who has like personally recouped from those pretty bad injuries like the torn Achilles and the torn shoulders and the torn knees. I can confidently say that someone with Mahomes's resources can recover a lot faster than I can.
Yeah, especially with all the underground performance enhancing substances that won't show up in the drug test.
They're not underground, they're just innovative.
Yeah, they're just creative. It's
Innovative.
legal.
It's not illegal, it's legal. It's good.
No, I said it is legal.
Oh,
We're
it's good
about to be
stuff.
on the clock here again. We probably need one more running back at least. One more.
You keep
receiver's
saying
been
that.
hurt.
It's Malik Davis. We can wait till we get Malik Davis. Let's beef up everywhere else.
He's already been drafted, actually.
No, he hasn't. You just didn't go far enough.
No, I probably scrolled past him.
You scrolled past him 3 times.
There it is. Okay, he's queued up at the worst. Do you want to go another receiver here then?
Yeah, we may as well.
Okay, we're gonna go one of these other receivers.
Nobody's drafting Malik Davis before us. Let's go with D Hop. He's not playing no more.
Yeah, I'm not playing D Hop.
What about Odell?
I like Brazel here the best between those names. I like Tyquan Thornton. I like Pat Bryant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brazil, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it. Just the unknown upside.
So that's all I'm thinking about right now is what if Bryce Young just nails it this year? And that dude's a fucking benefactor of that.
We got another piece of the Carolina offense too with Coker, so that kind of fits. And they're both run backs on this Jadarian Price play for week 17. So that all kind of came together nicely on accident. But we are backstacked for that Carolina Seattle
Might have
game.
been accidental for you. I maneuvered this whole shit except for that dumbass Hunter Henry pick.
Yeah, I would take that one back if we could, but hey.
We needed a third tight end, and he might get more touchdowns. Well, he's going to get more touchdowns than pretty much anybody else that was going in that range. So it's not a miss of a pick. I just really hate the New England offense.
Yeah, I don't feel the same about the New England offense, but agree to disagree.
They should try to be a good offense. That might make them better.
Do you have any have you looked into the San Francisco running back situation behind McCaffrey at all?
No, and I don't plan to. He's going to do more black magic this year and be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right. Ultimately, he probably just takes 85% of the workload he was for most of the season, and then in the playoff then toward the end of the season when they need the wins, they'll start loading him up full again.
Probably.
Yeah, the research that I've done historically, the rookie running back that the Niners draft doesn't get the playing time. So that would be Kalen Black this year. The bull case for Kalen Black is that they was an absolute reach. This guy was basically the third running back or the second running back on Indiana's team last year. Not as good as the main starter, but the Niners thought he was a great fit for their offense. So if they believe in the talent enough to reach for him, to pull up a guy who wasn't considered even a top 10 prospect by a lot of boards, there's a reason for it. So you can totally see it the other way. Jordan James, on the other hand, is more established. We're gonna wrap up our draft with Malik Davis here. Handcuff Javonte.
That's the good stuff.
Jordan James was actually at the University of Oregon with Bucky Irving. they actually profiled very similarly. A lot of people's comps for Jordan James is Bucky Irving. So you can imagine that type of player, fast, kind of like a cannonball that
That's
bounces off of
hilarious.
people, not an elite goal line back by any stretch. Will do most of the work between the 20s and can catch passes a little bit. He's more established in the offense, so he didn't get any run last year as a rookie. And they, of course, still have Isaac Orendo, who was one of the biggest rakes I've ever stepped on in my life. Last year, I had like 35% Isaac Orendo because he got all the usage the year before.
Yeah.
And, and he is what there's this metric called the RAS, the raw athletic score, which is basically all of the combine stats that you put together. So like your vertical, your broad jump, your 40, it's basically a measurement of how good of an athlete you are compared to all the other people that have tested in those drills prior.
Yeah.
And Isaac Orendo is like a 99th percentile RAS score guy. He's an athletic freak by any statistical meaning of the word.
Uh-huh.
A true outlier. And
you bought that.
Yes, because he showed me it the year before. And then, McCaffrey stays healthy the entire following season. And not only does he stay healthy, any spelling is not done by Isaac Orendo. Orendo plays special teams the entire season.
That's what you do with athletic guys in football. You put them on special teams.
They went out and got Brian Robinson as the backup. And I guess Brian Robinson's a better running back than Orendo, but he didn't show it last year. What Orendo showed in the games that he got was basically McCaffrey light. Let's go ahead and recap this team.
What does McCaffrey light mean? Like he caught like 5 less passes?
No, like I had Orendo the season that McCaffrey got injured, and it was awesome. It was like 20 PPR points a game. Whereas McCaffrey, what people think of when they think of McCaffrey is like 25 locked in PPR points a game. Locked in no matter what, he's got to get there between touchdowns, receptions, yards. So yeah, McCaffrey light here means like 20 instead. I'm going to turn us into another draft. I didn't get a chance to recap the last one, but if you know us, it's just Cowboys heavy and a lot of late round receiver.
Not every draft. It's not even close to every draft. We fade a lot of the Cowboys just because you don't want to draft CD in the first round.
I don't dislike CD in the first round.
I had when we first started drafting, literally only Cowboys.
When you and I first started drafting, I did dislike CD. So that's probably where you're getting that from. But I've definitely had a change of heart the last like month and a half. Especially in the eliminator format.
Where's the number 88 for the Cowboys, man? What's the matter?
CD's like my favorite pick in that format.
He's the best player ever. He's not even. He's probably like a top 5 receiver right now, but
CD
receiver's such a saturated position at the top now. I have no idea what to make of my top 5 guys.
The DraftKings lobby is only one person in here. What did you just say? Sorry, I wasn't.
I said the top tier of receivers is so saturated. I don't know how I would make a top 5 list. And I don't know if CD would be on it.
I think so. We're in this format that has the tournament style. So weeks 15, 16, and 17 really matter. And in a 1-game sample size, CD Lamb has the same ability as everyone else.
As well as anybody as far as a fantasy format going, but that's not what I was talking about.
Well, I'm in general. Yeah, well, I'm thinking about in the context of which we're playing. So top 5 receivers in general, you don't know if CD's on that list?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because think about it. Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, JSN, and then depending on how you feel about Justin Jefferson.
I'd rather have Justin Jefferson than CD Lamb.
I think you're an idiot for that, but Amon-Ra is right there.
Wow.
Like Justin Jefferson's not in my top 5. He's not even close. If you're
He's
not
just had
quarterback,
bad quarterback play.
if you're
I think
not
we've
quarterback
forgotten how
proof,
good
you're
he
not
is,
in my
man.
top 5. If you're not quarterback proof, you're not my top 5. Jamar Chase is not only quarterback proof, but the backup quarterbacks
Chase
looked
is
so
not
hard for
quarterback
him.
proof. He had good backup quarterback play.
They looked so hard for him because he was the best pass catcher on the team that he got more targets when the backup quarterback went in. So, yeah, he is quarterback proof.
He got more targets, but that doesn't mean he's going to perform on an offense that can't
More
function.
targets. That's
He
quarterback
didn't
proof.
have Chris Brosmer or whoever
I don't know
for
if
the
Puka
fucking
Nacua
Vikings
will be
that started.
quarterback proof, but we'll never have to find out because Matt Stafford plays through everything.
I'm just saying Jamar Chase's
JSN, I don't
year
know
would
if
be
we'll ever have
completely
to
different
find
if
out
it
if
was
he's quarterback
McCarthy.
proof because Sam Darnold is so good. Same with Amon Ra. Jared Goff plays through a lot of stuff. I don't know if we'll ever have to find out if he's quarterback proof. But CeeDee Lamb has played with several backups in his career and has performed very, very well with them. And Justin Jefferson played with backup level talent last year and did nothing. So, I don't know. He's not my top 5. He's in my top 10. There's no disrespect to Justin Jefferson. He's just not as good as the other guys. It's the same with CeeDee Lamb. Out of my top 5 to 6, CD plays at that 5 to 6 bubble.
I think we need some more objective way to compare the receivers themselves, sans the situations that they find themselves in, because
I guess you kind of can't
Jefferson,
really do that.
there's nobody I think out there who takes fantasy football serious, not even just fantasy, but just like receiver analysis or talent analysis seriously, and would say that Justin Jefferson is not in the top 5. Justin Jefferson is.
They can say whatever they want. I'm saying this now. He's
I'm
not
just
in the
saying
top
you're
5.
you're in rare company.
He's just not in the top 5.
That's crazy.
It's not there. I mean, look at this: Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, JSN, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. You're going to tell me that Justin
I
Jefferson
would much rather have Justin Jefferson, like in a vacuum, if I wasn't Sean McVay as the coach and I couldn't, and I didn't have the perfect yards after catch monster that Puka is, because that's why Puka.
So if Puka wasn't who he was, you would have Justin Jefferson over him.
What I'm saying is, if I just invented a person to catch footballs in a laboratory, that person would be like Justin Jefferson.
It wouldn't be Calvin Johnson.
It could be Calvin Johnson, could be Jamar Chase, right?
It would probably be Rob Gronkowski, if I'm being honest.
But who's it not? It's not like CeeDee Lamb.
If I was designing a pass catcher, I would be designing a tight end, not a receiver.
Really, the answer here is George Pickens.
It's Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, it's Rob Gronkowski.
The answer is Rob Gronkowski. Gronk swallow ball, Gronk score touchdown, Gronk spike.
I don't know.
And then now Gronk's actually like a pretty decent like podcaster in his retirement, man. He's got a lot of insightful stuff.
We're kind of splitting hairs to a big extent with the top 5 receivers only. It's hard to.
He's just not there.
That's crazy, man.
It's hard to put Amon-Ra not in the top 5. It's hard to not put CeeDee Lamb in the top 5. It's hard to not put JSN in the top 5. It's hard to not put Puka in the top 5. It's hard to not put Jamar Chase in the top 5. Somebody's got to not be there.
Yeah, I would.
Somebody's got to not be there.
I think Jefferson's top 3.
Oh.
That's just
gross.
Maybe you could say JSN passed him last year, but
JSN was so much better than him last year.
JSN just had a better situation.
Oh, Sam Darnold was a better situation? Get out of here. You just trashed him.
He's a way better situation than Max Brosnan.
You just trashed Sam Darnold a few minutes
ago. JJ McCarthy.
You literally just shit on Sam Darnold a few minutes ago.
I don't think he's that great. I think
Darnold's
like a top. I think Darnold's like a top 15 quarterback any given.
Well, you just shit on him a few minutes ago, so
I don't think he's that great, but I think he's infinitely better than JJ McCarthy and Chris Brosmer or whoever. He got through 4 picks and 2 of those pick sixes in one game.
Would you
Couldn't
rather
throw the
have
ball
that
at all.
dude or
I don't think they
prime
had a
Nathan
pass
Peterman?
completion in a half.
Would you rather have that guy or prime Nathan Peterman?
Just can I just get like
No, you have to pick one right now.
prime Nathan Peterman?
Yeah, or that other dude, whoever
Prime
the fuck his
Nathan
name is.
Peterman by far.
Why? You're an idiot. That dude threw 5 interceptions in a half.
Prime did
In his
that?
prime. Yeah. He threw 5. He was a terrible quarterback. He's really awful.
I'm gonna find Nathan Peterman's best game, and that is who I'm considering as prime Nathan Peterman.
That's not how prime works, Troy.
What is then?
That's peak. That's not prime.
Well, how are we
is-
saying there's a difference?
Prime
here?
is the longevity. Peak is like their literal highest point.
How are we saying there's a difference here?
So Patrick Mahomes' prime was the 3 Super Bowls. His peak was probably the one that he played so well, even though his team lost against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was the best quarterback
like
performance. I've ever
it
seen.
was. You're dumb for saying that. It was great, but it was not the best quarterback performance anybody's ever seen. Fucking weirdo. I've seen shortstops throw the exact same throws he's doing because he is a shortstop.
So it turns out Nathan Peterman's peak was in his prime.
Yeah, 5 interceptions in the first half.
No, he had his let's see.
The best game he could have put together.
He completed 7 of 10 passes for 79 yards. And
That's pretty good. That's the guy you want? Shit.
Yeah, over Max Brosmer, yeah, because that is infinitely better than what anything Brosmer did last year. Did you not see that game against
dude,
the Seahawks?
I don't watch the Vikings because they suck.
They went against the Seahawks, and the line for a defensive touchdown on the Seahawks was like minus money or something. It was
I gotta watch more of the Vikings tape.
It was like
maybe I am missing something with Justin Jefferson, but these other guys are actually really, really good, and Justin Jefferson just is really lackluster. Played 3 more games than CeeDee Lamb, and only had like 10 more yards than he did.
Jefferson's gonna make you eat your words this year, man. I
Dude,
don't know, Kyler.
Here's the
I know
problem.
you're not a fan of
There
Kyler.
are people who are telling me that George Pickens is the best receiver on the Cowboys, and if you're telling me that George Pickens is the best receiver on the Cowboys, and I'm arguing CeeDee Lamb for top 5, Justin Jefferson is now wide receiver 7.
Do I think George Pickens is the best receiver in the Cowboys? No, I don't think he's better.
No, it's Ryan Flanoy, if we're being honest. But you know, they drafted CeeDee Lamb. They made the big trade for George Pickens. That's why they got to get
Miles Austin.
Oh God,
that was a bad time for us.
It was a it was bad. It was a bad time to be a Cowboy. It's been a bad time to be a Cowboy fan for 30 years now. But like that was a particularly bad time. That was a particularly bad time to be a Cowboys fan. That shit was horrible. It wasn't as bad as the Vinny Testaverde, Quincy Carter years, though.
Quincy Carter. I had his rookie card.
The cocaine cowboy himself.
Damn. Okay, so we're in an eliminator lobby, and we're also in a DraftKings 3 mil.
What are you doing to us?
I'm seeing which one fills first.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we'll leave the lobby. The other one.
We're out this bitch.
Both are 9 out of 12 right now, which is 1 off from the big time.
What? We're missing 3 people.
No, I meant more about the 9-12 figure.
Oh. You see how you had to come around a second time for me to really get the point?
The second time.
The second explanation just hit.
Yeah. Sir, the second explanation just hit.
Was that a good GW impression? Did I do it?
You didn't do the W, his trademark W.
That's the Donovan McNabb celebration, the Omega.
W. Well, that's what Donovan McNabb used to say because George W. is the president at the time.
So you're telling me that Donovan McNabb was actually celebrating George W. Bush, but didn't want people to know that he was celebrating George W. Bush? So
he totally wanted him to know. He would just go W like that. He go W.
I think you're
Donovan
wrong
McNabb.
about this.
In fact, Donovan McNabb changed his name to W. McNabb. W. McNabb.
Well, yeah, because he's a winner, but like he didn't do it
He's
for
a
George
winner.
W.
Yeah, he's a
He
winner.
didn't do it for George W. I'll put money on that if he did.
Ever
I don't
since
think he did.
Donovan
I think you're
McNabb
making
got
that up. Really.
inducted into the Skull and Bones Society, he hasn't been the same.
What?
The secret like Yale society that George W. and a bunch of other famous and important people are inducted
Oh
in.
yeah, with the broomsticks and the
You wake up in the
and
coffin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that 13 Reasons Why show when they took that kid in the stall with the broomstick.
I haven't seen that show.
Don't.
I can't count that high.
It's past 4, but before 100.
So it's 4 I can get to because I got the many fingers.
Can you get to 100?
Let's try it. 1, 2. Mr. Beast made a video where he counted to 1 million, and that got him. That was his first million
Fuck
views.
Mr. Beast.
Really?
Unless he gives us money and then he's cool.
I think he's just a good person taking advantage of a good situation.
The only thing I don't like about it is I'm sure he's gonna give people the money anyway, but he makes people do absurd things for money.
I don't know. I think of it like
Here, let me exploit you because you're broke. Do this for likes and comments.
Well, shit. Have you ever worked a 9 to 5?
No, I worked worse. I worked 4 to 12s.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing for money that's so much worse than Mr. Beast? I'd like give me the stupid game show. Man, put me in some spandex and make me like put me in spandex and make me like shoot my boss or something for like
I don't know. Like
whatever.
Normal people shit is what I'm doing for money. Whatever the fuck those other people are doing, fuck that.
Oh man, my cursor's starting to go whack on us. So we're gonna find out who we end up drafting on accident here.
This is gonna be fun. The screen's doing some fucked up shit too.
Yeah, I just unplugged my mouse, so the external mouse. So now we're all trackpad. Hopefully that's good enough.
Do you not like your trackpad or something?
It's my setup. My main laptop is off to the side, so it's harder to get to the trackpad. I have another mouse, that's right in front of me. That's easier to use. It's just a particular situation. This mouse is several years old. It's plugged in. It's plugged into an external USB. There's like 3 or 4 different reasons at each part in the process why it could be lagging or breaking.
Oh, just get a new one.
Equipment. It's not connected right.
Just get a new one.
The PC itself, I got
a few years old.
The PC I bought is the same one I got before I went to graduate school, which is now 8 years ago.
Mice are like $10, dude. Get a new one.
Yeah, I know. That's what but I don't know if
what are we doing?
I think the mouse works fine. I think it's the PC. It's 8 years old. The software I have on this,
you think the PC is fucking up, but the only thing that's really fucking up is the mouse?
No, that's it's so the issue that's happening could be a result of back-end processing that's taking forever. So that's why I suspect it's the PC side of it, not the mouse.
All right. Well, hopefully we auto draft.
I don't want to get into the weeds because it's very boring and not football, but I'm pretty sure it's just back-end processing that I need to like close out somehow or prevent from running.
Well, you should do that.
Well, fine, I will. Do you want to get McCaffrey or Taylor here? Or?
Justin Jefferson, man, he's great.
Let's
Jonathan Taylor, bro. No, I don't want Justin Jefferson. I don't want Justin
Jefferson. We got Taylor though. We got Taylor.
All right, good. I wouldn't have minded St. Brown or James Cook either.
I My rule with McCaffrey right now is I take him half the times that I should. So if he shows up at the top of the board and he's there, I take him. I don't take him half those times.
Yeah.
Because I still want some exposure in case he is the guy that you happen to need. But this is just so late in his career. He stayed off the injury bug last year. I just how
Yeah.
many
What are
times
the
can
odds
you
he
keep
does it
that?
2 years in a row? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. Plus his efficiency, all so it's not just if I knew he was healthy the whole time, great. But last year we saw his efficiency just tank. If he didn't get 14 carries plus literally 6 catches a game, or more, and then he's also the goal line back. If he wasn't getting all the high value touches, and he's probably going to again this year, by the way, um, then we would see someone who would really struggle to rack up points because he was averaging like 2 to 3 a carry for big stretches of the season last year. He's a real big question mark. Whereas if you didn't take him, you got Jonathan Taylor there who's going to get 350 touches, including pass catching. He's like 80% of the team's carries or something like that, or snaps. He's the only running back who is that high volume, or is one of two. He's like him and Chase Brown, I think. Just I'd much rather have Taylor. I'd much rather have the receivers around there. Speaking of Chase Brown, you want to wrap him up here?
I was just about to say that. It looked like Saquon was going to fall to us for a second there, which I thought was complete and utter madness.
Yeah, that would have been great value there. But I do actually like Chase Brown better than Saquon this year.
I think Saquon's going to have one of those seasons where he's going to have like an MVP quality type year. I think Philly's going to be looking to feed him the
People are
ball.
polarized on him, and I think the reality is he probably just gets, I don't know, 85% of what your ceiling outcome is. I think he's going to be a very, very good pick.
I mean, even 85% of what I'm thinking he gets is still going to be a really good fucking season.
So the Eagles, by the way,
I think his name will be tossed around for MVP for about 6 to 10 weeks this season.
Saquon, yeah. So and there are people out there who agree with you. So 2 years ago, right, he had the 450 touch season or something. So after that happens, you usually see a regression in running backs the following year because their body just took a beating. Saquon has had season-ending injuries in the past. He's been beat up. And then this is a team that just lost a few of its key offensive linemen. Not nearly as effective at running the ball as Saquon's like peak season with them a couple years ago. Combined all together, so he didn't have as many touches last year. He is healthy on paper, so you can see him taking a step forward, like efficiency wise. The team's just going to get better because they did add the offensive line. They didn't get weaker there, and the offense should be better as a whole. Without AJ Brown too, they lose some distractions. So like, there's a bull case for Saquon for sure. But for me, when I look at the age, the injury history, and the actual juice behind him, what Tank Bigsby, when Bigsby runs, he pops off on film. So I can see some of the workload just being naturally eaten into for Saquon. But again, I still think
70-30 is still going to be an insane workload.
Yeah, I don't have any problem where he's going. But I don't like his week 17 matchup against
in this range. To add on to our Philly love a little bit, I like Smitty.
I like AJ Brown over Smitty, but I can take Smitty here. A queued up Smitty.
No, especially not if AJ Brown's going to end up in New England. I don't want any part of it.
So, yeah, we don't know where AJ Brown's going to end up. He's most heavily rumored to New England. I'm treating it as if he goes to New England. But there have been other teams rumored to want him. Like the Jaguars are most recently like in the headlines for that. Who knows if that's like true
that
or
would
not.
suck for a lot of what our fantasy teams are right now.
You could, like we don't have a lot of Parker
That would
Washington.
be straight up disaster.
We don't have a lot of Brian Thomas.
It would ruin everything.
We don't have a lot of Jacoby Myers.
You don't. I do.
Oh, what I think is going to happen there
I'm buying
is
hard into the Jacksonville offense as is. I don't want them to add anymore. They're good.
what I think that would look like is that if it went to the Jaguars, and again, this is just a rumor, but I think they would deal Brian Thomas out with it because they're not using him as much as they should be. The Eagles have a void at receiver. It's not going to help when they trade away AJ Brown. And yeah, you just package that with a couple of picks. So you can, and the Jaguars already have this plethora of receivers, right? We just talked about how they're probably going to run out of 2 tight end sets for a bigger part of their offense than they did the year before. So all that taken together, they've got 3 competent receivers. So if you add AJ Brown, that gives them 4. They're probably going to kick 1 back to the Eagles, who could still use the depth in the room. And Brian Thomas gives them something they don't have right now on the roster. Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith, these are very good route runners. These are dudes who are going to get open. Mekhi Lemon will beat man coverage. Devontae Smith has typically been better at beating zone. AJ Brown was the man beater on that team. We're on the clock here, by the way. We're going to go Loveland, DJ Moore, Scatabo.
I was thinking Jalen Waddle in this range, but we have a lot of receivers. Or no, we don't have a lot of receivers.
We don't have any receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Waddle.
Smitty.
I guess I'm still locked in on the last draft that we just had.
Yeah. I can go Waddle here. I queued him up.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Moore's a bit of an unknown. I think Waddle's in a bit more of a stable situation working with Bo Nix. I mean, the AFC West is really good, but and that's not to say that Bo Nix is better than Josh Allen. I think that Denver will utilize their receivers a lot better than Buffalo utilizes theirs.
Yeah, and Waddle's just a much better player at this point in his career than DJ Moore is. Even
I don't
though
know
I
if
think
that's a true state. He might be better, but a much better is insane.
I think he's
Waddle
much better.
Waddle has been hurt for a long time. He doesn't play full seasons.
Waddle does have special athleticism that DJ Moore
of,
hasn't demonstrated for the last 2 years at least.
It was outside of about 22 games with Miami that Jalen Waddle looked good for 22 games, hasn't looked good the rest of the time.
Jalen Waddle managed to look elite with Tua.
Tua was good for a while. If he didn't get 22 concussions in a season and a half, he still would be.
I think DJ Moore's had better situations and would do less with them than what Jalen Waddle's been doing with Miami.
How are you going to shake your head at Tua was good? He's like the only quarterback to put up 70 points in a game.
That was the running backs that game, dude. Go
just
back and
the
look
running
it up.
back. You can tell me that it's chain and that's it, just the running backs?
If you go look up how many touchdowns they had combined, you're going to find they were at least half of the touchdowns. And if we're talking about if you're going to tell me Tua threw 3 or 4 touchdowns, yeah, that's probably true. But who did he throw them to? If it's to Achane and he housed a screen, I'm not giving that as credit to Tua.
Yeah. Give your credit wherever you want to.
Because what we're ultimately talking about is Waddle going to be better than
Tua had 309 and 4 touchdowns. And Achane only had 30 receiving yards, and Mostert only had 60 receiving yards.
How many
the backs accounted for 100 of those yards. So 209 of those yards are going elsewhere.
We can't just point to one ceiling performance and say that makes this player good.
Okay, you're not going to tell me that because the Dolphins' offense was really, really good for a long time with Tua and Mike McDaniel, and it was the reason everybody was so high on him.
Do you want to go with Duvernay or Swift?
Bucky, I like Rome. I don't like Travion. I don't like Swift. I like Keenshawn.
I like Rome the best from these options.
Yeah, he's all right.
We queue him up.
I just don't. I don't like Swift. I don't want
3
Swift.
receivers with week 10 buys. By the way, that's probably not a big deal, but we're gonna have trouble finding ceiling at that for that week. But that's not a big deal in a 17 game, or 14 game regular season. But maybe we keep an eye out for that for depth pieces. To put a bow on it, DJ Moore's unknown this year. I think he could be awesome. I heard a very convincing bull case earlier today, basically saying, well, who the fuck else are they throwing it to? And they just paid top dollar
It was like that with Curtis Samuel too, and he didn't get shit. Buffalo just doesn't use their receivers.
And that's exactly what the dude replied to the bull the bull case.
Buffalo just doesn't use their receiver because they had the exact same situation with Curtis Samuel. Now, if they would have brought DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel in together, they might have done something special. But they brought him in consecutive seasons without putting him with a legitimate other guy on the other side. Like who's the other guy out there? Keon Coleman can't catch.
Yeah, he can't catch. The slot receivers can do a good job. And
I like Brandon Cooks a lot, but Brandon Cooks is definitely in that wide receiver 3 gadget play part of his career now.
He's just too old.
Well, I mean, for heavy volume, but he's not old. He's not too old to go out there, run 45 yards down the field and make a catch.
And demand the target from Josh Allen, too, like we saw in the playoff game with Broncos.
That was a justified target. Like, we're literally just him holding on to the ball away from that being the best play ever.
I was just trying to say he's still earning targets despite how old he is and everything, all the negative things I'm saying. Josh Allen's still looking his way.
As well he should be.
We're back on the clock here. We got Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown, and 3 pretty good receivers. Do we want to get a quarterback here? Stack Odunze with Caleb Williams? Do we want to take Daniels? I
guess Caleb makes the most sense with our team, but I don't know. I don't like any of these guys.
Yeah, with our team, let's go Caleb.
If this was the real NFL draft, I would trade this pick for a haul next year.
There's still great picks in this area. We just have three.
I just don't want any of them. Like, yeah, good picks are good picks. I just don't want any of them.
For Mondres around here, he's who I would take if we didn't go the quarterback there. I would go Ramondre Stevenson here for sure. I
don't want any part of the New England offense.
Yeah, we're just going to see things differently on that front.
They're just not good.
Hurts are also great here.
They got exposed in the playoffs last year, and it's going to carry over to this year.
We'll see. Like I said, I think they just ran into the literal top 5 defenses left in the league outside of the Seahawks.
You mean the only good teams they played all season long?
You're not seeing how good May was despite that, but his offensive line really let him down.
He looked really good against college level and practice squad competition. He really did.
The moment did look too big for him in the big games, but he's not playing the big games all season long, and he's not playing the actual top 5 defenses in the league all season long this year. Their New England offense has got to be fine. And like I said, they added pieces around him. And the offensive line should hopefully be better than they were last year because they were a liability.
Mid-season, we're going to be on bad beats or bad takes, and it's going to be you talking about the New England offense being all right.
I don't know. Mid-season, we're going to be talking in like DFS context and stuff, and that's going to be hard to say. That's going to be hard to say who to even start. You can probably
yeah. I wouldn't. Especially in DFS contest, I wouldn't touch the New England offense.
AJ Brown's going to be like 7,500 every week for a 20-point upside.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I'm not touching any part of the New England offense for any DFS.
Yeah, you'd have to go the cheaper pass catchers and at least kind of touch on.
This is the first time I've seen that happen where Dak got taken before Jalen Hurts. At least there aren't some haters in this draft.
Hurts makes sense for a team. We can round out that.
That was kind of why I wanted to wait on quarterback, but I didn't like anybody in that range, so I was okay with Jalen or Caleb Williams. I like Jalen Hurts here. That's why I wanted to wait, but yeah.
I'm fine with this. If we weren't going to take him, I'd advocate for Tucker Kraft again. I think he's going to be like the top, like
no
a top
Green Bay pass catchers.
If he stays healthy.
Green Bay pass catchers. They're gross. They play
Tucker Kraft is not gross.
They play for a gross team.
Check
they
this
got
out.
a gross dude throwing.
Check out these numbers, bro. Check out these Tucker Kraft numbers. They got a
gross dude who gets QB pressures and demands the highest paid contract for an edge rusher.
Dude, look at Tucker Kraft. Look at these targets for tight end.
Yeah. Sure, that's all good. That's all good. but he plays for the Packers. And you really want that on your team?
There's multiple 30 points here in 8 weeks. This guy would have been like the tight end 3 or 4 last year if he didn't get hurt, and he's
But
going
he
at
did get hurt, and he plays for the Packers. That's the double whammy,
Matt
brother.
LaFleur was asked who's the number one
Are
receiver
you
on the
thinking
team.
two negatives are making a positive in this case, and it's a net positive for Tucker Kraft because he got hurt last year and he plays for the Packers that he will succeed this year?
No, I'm saying Matt LaFleur last year was asked who the number one receiver is
Of course
on the
it's
team,
Tucker
and he
Kraft.
goes,
It's fucking him or Matthew Golden. What the
he
fuck are we
says, "Why
talking about?
can't the tight end be the number one receiver
Yeah,
on the
he
team?"
has to be in Green Bay because they don't have any real receivers out there.
Christian Watson's a real receiver, and so is
Yeah,
Jaden
he's the
Reed.
real receiver 3. He would be wide receiver 3 in most offenses. And he's wide
Christian Watson
receiver
would only
1.
be wide receiver 3 on the Cowboys. He'd be wide receiver 2 almost anywhere, and probably a better wide receiver 1 than maybe half the teams.
What's the X to disagree? That's the red dead button, right?
Let's see the receiver ones on. Okay, he's not better than Justin Jefferson,
All right.
but he is better than any Chargers receiver.
I'd rather have Jacoby Myers.
No, than Christian Watson. That's foolish. That's foolish.
You're foolish.
Myers is just a dude
I'd
who's
rather
gonna run a
have-
deep crosser.
I'd rather have Wan'Dale Robinson.
I really
I'd
like
rather have
Wan'Dale.
unknown commodity Malachi Fields.
I really like no, dude.
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah. No,
Get
I won't get
outta
out of
here.
here. I'm going to stay right here in this lobby. Right here in this draft room. And you're going to hear me.
Then I need to start drafting against your teams because I want your lobbies where you're not taking Christian Watson. Instead, you're
Buddy,
pulling up Malachi Fields.
You're going, but the thing is, you're drafting Christian Watson in the 6th and 7th rounds. I'm waiting on Malachi till the 15th and beefing up everywhere else in the meantime.
6-7.
I'm getting the same production at the end of the draft that you're getting in the middle rounds. I want
right.
you in
I am
my
the fool.
drafts. I don't want you drafting with me.
We're back on the clock here. All these picks are terrible
Oh,
for
let
a
me
team.
guess. You want Fannin? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
queue up Laporta.
Yeah. Laporta's good.
I do not like the Browns this year. I'm staying away for as much as I can, which it sucks because I had a bunch of KC Concepcion before the NFL draft, and then he landed in that spot. And could he do something? Yes, but disappointing. And yeah, all these other Browns pieces, I don't care for him at their price.
I
Fannin's great.
think
I
if
just
we
think
get away from stupid Deshaun Watson at quarterback, then Cleveland will be fine. But I digress.
Yeah, they might not, right? They might start him. But if
Shedeur plays well, then we'll be all right. But if Deshaun Watson's playing quarterback, we're fucked.
If you just take all the Browns at cost, like Judkins, at the same range he's going as DeAndre Swift. Swift's got to score more points than Judkins this year, just because the offense is that much better, and it's got Ben Johnson as a coach.
I don't believe in
Jadarian Price is going at the same ADP. I'd rather have Jadarian Price.
Yeah, I'd rather have Jadarian Price.
So there's running back, and then David Montgomery right before. I'd much rather have Montgomery. All the running backs around Judkins, except for maybe arguably Travion Henderson, are safer bets.
I want Judkins over all the committee dudes. Like anybody who's even got a thought of a timeshare in their head. I want him over them. But I wouldn't want him over the Javonte Williams. I wouldn't want him over Bijan or Jameer or anything like that.
Oh no, yeah, that's extreme, right?
I'm saying is anybody who's got a lead back role solidified, they're going to get about 75 to 80% of their team's backfield touches.
Yeah,
I obviously don't want, because that's what I think that Judkins is share will be. I think he'll be in that 75 to 80% range of usage out of the running back pool. So comparing him to those other guys, he's the lowest on that totem pole, but I want him above pretty much everybody else. Like both Minnesota guys, I want him above Breece Hall. I want him above all the Chicago running backs. I want him above the Chargers running backs. If there's even a threat of a committee, I would rather have Judkins than the threat of a committee.
Yeah. Back on the clock here. We got a 2-2-3-1 shaping up.
Pick with your heart. Pick with your heart here.
2.
The range is good. There's a lot of value here. Manungai might be all right. Jared Goff is going to be good all
If
season
you
long.
at all like Manungai, I just clicked on him because I don't have him at all. I don't believe in this player at all.
Well, I don't
pretty
believe in the
much.
Chicago backfield to have anybody solidified success, but in that range, there's no reason not to.
He was good enough as a rookie last year. For this range, I don't think he's a very good pick compared to, say, Dobbins.
To your favorite phrase, DeAndre Swift is another year older, another step slower, and Manungai is second year guy. Had some success last year.
Isn't DeAndre Swift only like 26 or 27?
Hey man, you think Javonte Williams is old and DeAndre Swift is older? So
I didn't say Javonte Williams is old. I said he's beat up.
You used the same phrasing, another year older, that I used for DeAndre Swift, a step slower that I used for DeAndre Swift.
I don't think I ever said he's a step slower, another year older.
You did. I'll pull up the film. I'll go through the streams, man. I'll pull the fucking
tape up. I never said that.
Yeah. You can go ahead and keep doing that.
Javonte's only 26.
Yeah. He's young. Young. And you out here like, oh, he's old and broken up and beat down. No.
Young out the blue tent, maybe. The back half of last season didn't look good for him, whereas the first half did. So
the back half of last season didn't look good for anybody but Dak and Ryan Flournoy.
Do with it what you will, but yeah, he definitely lost efficiency. It could have been for a number of reasons: offensive line injuries. It could have been anything, right?
Well, we did look a little banged up, and also the team pretty much checked out a little bit too. They definitely weren't trying to win games down the stretch.
Yeah, and Javonte was I don't know. He's a really good running back.
I just don't envision the mid-season tank for Dallas this year.
We're going for it.
That's what I'm saying. But like last year was a mid-season tank. Outside of Dak, pretty much everybody packed it in.
We have to go for it.
Pickens disciplinary problems towards the end of the year. There was CeeDee Lamb checking out, dropping a bunch of footballs last year. The offensive line was hurt, so we pretty much just tanked it in. Defense couldn't do shit.
About to be on the clock here again. I really think we need a receiver. We're at a 2-3-3-1.
Yep. Well, let's get one.
I think Pittman makes the most sense. Worthy's my next preference.
Worthy could be all right.
Between the two, who do you like better?
Oh God, flip the coin. I guess give me Zay Worthy just because he's got a bit more offensive upside working with Mahomes rather than
hopefully something happens to Raji.
Yeah.
Pittman is just, I think he's going to work really well with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what,
but how well does well with Aaron Rodgers? Like, how good?
Yeah, what's the ceiling of the offense get you, right? Like Aaron Rodgers is going to throw at most in a given week 3 touchdowns, 250 yards. They're probably going to sap up. Well, McCarthy's actually been pretty good for pass.
Games. I don't know. He'll probably have a few renaissance games this year where
they're going to try it, man. He's already announced this is last year. He's not going to be handing off the ball in the 1 yard line.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think we'll see a renaissance kind of season from.
So yeah,
I don't know if we'll see like 40 touchdowns, 2 interceptions ever again.
So big-bodied hitch and curl route, Pittman, a 10-yard turnaround, Pittman. Seems very safe, very good in the goal line areas for Aaron Rodgers. But they also is a team that also has DK Metcalf. He's got the exact same volume. So both these guys, you figure, get like 25-30% of the target volume each. And then the rest of the targets goes to Pat Freiermuth and Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle. They're probably throwing.
Rico doesn't pass catch too much. He's pretty much pass block.
Rodgers, of course, means two things too. They use the most play clock, so they play the slowest in the league, less opportunities for the offense as a whole. And then it also means it's Rodgers at 45, and he's throwing the ball in under 2 seconds. So any routes that are going to develop, not deep routes, very short, shallow, all that works up to Pittman. And then Worthy is kind of like the exact opposite profile. Right, all downfield, all explosive. So I could
two quarterbacks in system, regardless, are both improvisers who can extend the play. get you
Yep.
open downfield.
Well, Mahomes can hold the ball much longer.
God, this range of players kind of sucks.
Chris Rodriguez for me here.
Yeah,
Or
I guess
Goddard.
so. I guess so. Well, we do need a tight end. Goddard makes the most sense.
And I think we have Hurts too, so perfect. Yeah, Hurts and Laporta, dominant tight end room. I really like it.
Yeah.
I was fine with Chris Rodriguez here because I think he's gonna get like 10 touchdowns this coming year.
I mean, I like the Jacksonville offense as a whole, but the backfield's pretty crowded, especially if the quarter or the coach was already bragging up Bayshell Tootin, you know?
Yeah, Tuden and Rodriguez are both his guys. We've talked about that situation at length. I think all three. The thing is, too, there's a third running back on that team as well. LaQuinn Allen, he's a pass catching running back out of Clemson. He had his own role last year as a rookie. He was out there for all of those like true passing situations. So
Yes.
that means that Tuden and Rodriguez doesn't catch passes at all. That doesn't mean he's never caught an NFL pass, but it does mean he's only had like I think like 5 a year or something his entire career. And I might not be exaggerating from there. It's super low. All that's to say, Tuden would be more of the pass catcher between them, but LeQuint is probably going to eat some of that role. Three-headed monster there. But again, Rodriguez with the goal line work should be fine.
I just want no part of that.
Price.
It's too big of a committee. Yeah, maybe you get a 2 touchdown.
Valuable offense. What if you get an injury? Like we see this all the time. If you buy into the three-headed backfield, one of them will pay off usually.
Yeah, but then you're going to get the one who's hurt.
Sometimes that happens.
No part of it. If it's a 33% chance that my guy's going to get hurt or my guy's going to explode, I want no part of that.
Well, if I was drafting one team, yeah, I'd want more security. But because I'm not drafting just one team, I'm gonna buy shares of the backfield. And I'll get my guy, and I'm gonna have a good season because of it. Tyrone Tracy here stands out to me. Anybody else?
If we hadn't gone tight end last round, I would have liked Gadsden in this range. But yeah, I like Pacheco just because I don't think that they can give Gibbs everything. And I do think that there is a chance that Gibbs gets hurt this year as well, given his last year. Yeah.
Okay. I hate Pacheco, but I took him because
here's the thing. The year after Saquon Barkley had all those yards, what happened? He got hurt, right? Jahmyr Gibbs has a very similar season last year, really high usage. They're probably going to look to do the same. At some point in time, he's probably going to go down. Or they're going to have to cut back the workload, or they're going to have to do this, or they're going to have to do that. You bring in someone like Isaiah Pacheco because you know that you're going to give him a sizable chunk of work.
They don't. Is this correct that they don't have Craig Reynolds either? This is the other dude that they spelled carries with, Craig Reynolds.
Well, he only got 4 carries last year, so.
His year previous tells a better story because he was involved he had goal line touches. He actually took over a couple of games.
So that backfield was a little bit more crowded at some point in time, but that's why you bring in Pacheco because you don't need the other guys behind him. Sure, you probably have an RB3 on the roster just because you kind of need that, but he's probably more of a special teams guy.
Pacheco just, God.
You can like him, not like him all you want. The fact of the matter is Jahmyr Gibbs had insane usage last year.
Now this guy, Sion Vaki, is an athletic.
Oh yeah, his one attempt last season tells me that he's going to be pretty good.
I'm not advocating for him. I'm saying he's an athletic freak, but he's not used. And I think he is the third running back.
Because athletic freaks go to special teams.
He just hasn't had a chance.
Go to special teams, and then you go compete in the Olympics every 4 years. That's what athletic freaks do.
Unless you're DK,
they don't play real football. They don't get on the field for the real plays. And if they do, it's a gadget play. But in that range, go back to the player screen. Because we're good with wide receiver or running back. I like Cooper here. I'm not sold on any of the Jets pass yet. Fuck, somebody else liked him too. All right. He's a high draft pick by the Jets, and I feel like that indicates a lot of really high usage, especially from a veteran quarterback looking to develop some younger guys. I like Cooper in this range, but he's not there anymore.
I think we
So
lock up Bryce
pick
Young
whoever
as
you want.
third quarterback.
Sure.
That way we just get rid of that because we're coming up to the point where there's no starters anymore besides Rodgers and Mendoza.
Well, I'd like Rodgers, to be honest.
If he would make it to us, if we
But
pick
yeah,
next
on
to
the turn, yeah, I don't know
163,
if we'd be able to get him in the next one.
we're probably not because we're seeing all the legit starters go by like 155, and so like his ADP is now 160. He was going at 205 like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
because people just weren't sure if he was going to play or not.
Yeah, not me. I took him 30. I've got like 35% of him. I was gonna let that ship sink. I made the same mistake with Carr like last season. He actually retired. That sucked. The pre-draft best ball stuff.
I
That
would have
really
touched
sucked.
Carr last year just because he
He's
had
trying
the
to play
injury
this year. So what the hell happened last year, Carr? What happened?
It's because he had the injury the season before that I would have that like if he's even on the bubble, chances are he's probably leaning more towards not playing. I don't know.
Whatever. Man.
The quarterback position is fickle. You probably don't feel as bad as the people who drafted Andrew Luck in droves the year that he decided to retire in the middle of a preseason game.
That would suck. That would have sucked.
So
There must have been dudes who bet like because that's like Andrew.
Oh man, people
Luck is not only
probably lost. Yeah, people probably lost their houses because Luck retired.
the whole offense.
Yeah,
was gone in 1 year. Yeah,
he's amazing. And then it was like for the next 5 years, they were just shit up until the Daniel Jones 7-game win streak last year or whatever it was. The 7-1
they never
start.
recovered.
And they still really didn't because after that 7-1 start, they fucking tanked.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers starting is not good signs for your franchise.
Well, when your starter is Daniel Jones to begin with, it's not like you had high hopes for the season. But then somehow he overcame the low hopes that you had for him. And then you were like, oh, man, maybe something could finally go right. And then it doesn't.
They've got an offensive guru there, right, with Steichen.
Honestly, this is what they get for moving on from Peyton Manning so fast when he had another few years left in the tank and wanted to be in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I can't
This
believe
is the Manning curse. This is why Peyton Manning goes on Peyton's places and goes around to other places and breaks curses because he put a curse on the Colts.
The luck curse.
The curse of the luck, yeah.
The curse of the luck. That was that's the alternate name for the Luck of the Irish Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, it started out with the curse of the luck, and they were like, it's not on the nose enough.
It's my step.
It's better if we call it the Luck of the Irish and then make it about Irish people.
Yeah. Give him pointy ears.
You know, it was actually a really sweet movie too, because it presented the importance of allowing immigrants to come into the country and grow the population and grow the culture and be part of
it. Is a very forward-looking movie for
people would call it woke. If it came out today, people would call it woke. They would be like, oh, they're just pro-immigration and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what are you talking about, bro? This is
it was pretty standard messaging at the time. I did like how it was all couched in America regardless.
Except for that part where they were playing the Irish games. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. We're back on the clock here. Do we want to get a fifth running back or receiver? Keaton Mitchell, Algier, Spears all stand out. Receivers, not a lot, but Tesla. We got Flanoy.
Hey, is Tyreek Hill going to play this year?
Depends what you think about his knee. He's another year older, another step.
Another step slow. Yeah, that's Troy's favorite. Troy's two favorite phrases to apply to anybody over the age of 22.
He blew up.
Another year older and another step slower.
His knee is in like several pieces. Last year, it was bad. He had a terrible, terrible injury.
So why the hell is his ADP still at 160?
Because he got reconstructive procedures, and the big rumor is Kansas City, and he actually visited Kansas City earlier this year. Everyone thinks he's basically in a handshake deal with the Chiefs, like he's going to sign, but they're just waiting right now. And I think he
Make
had
sure he's
some of
all
the.
medically cleared and stuff.
Didn't he also have like some like legal issues or something too last year?
I don't know. I know he had some stuff a few years ago.
So if he does play, my guess is the Chiefs, and they could definitely use him.
Nah, the guy's A-worthy. They'll be fine.
Zay and Rashi, right?
Well, that
But-
essentially they brought in Zay Worthy to fill what the Tyreek Hill role used to be, but
So this
because
is
they don't
according-
have prime Travis Kelce, it doesn't work the same.
Yeah. No, and prime Tyreek matters a lot too. That speed is what makes him. If he's not
Well,
fast,
that's what Zay Worthy was supposed to be, but he's
Yeah.
not even close to his prime yet. So it's kind of like
So-
too early to jump the gun.
latest I'm seeing on Tyreek is torn ACL and dislocated knee, not expected to be ready to play until midway through the season, anyways. And he was cut by the Dolphins for salary cap reasons.
Okay.
So he might not physically be ready to play this coming year, but if he does, it would be with the Chiefs, and yeah, that's why his average draft position is still high on DraftKings. Underdog though, he does go at the back of drafts. Like the difference between the two sites is typically considered like more professional versus amateur play, or just in general, the sharper drafts are on Underdog. The more informed population is usually playing on Underdog, whereas DraftKings has kind of like the floodgates to all the newbies and stuff like that. So yeah,
Well, good for us, then.
sharper crowd doesn't think he's as valuable. He definitely could be if he plays this year though. All right, 3-4-5-2. Would probably need a fifth running back here. I really like Bigsby. Brian Robinson makes sense.
Who do we have on the top of our roster right now?
Jesus, we're not going to come back in time. Taylor or Chase Brown.
Quick, go back.
Yep.
Robinson.
Yep.
I was just trying to see if we had any of our handcuffs, but no.
No, but our running back room is kind of shaky. Like we have big question marks and the depth pieces. These two starters are solid, right? Taylor and Chase Brown.
You have question marks in the depth pieces. I think Monunga is going to take a huge step forward this season, and we're going to have just banked on it getting at 95. We're going to have gotten like we should have like a running back who should have gone in the 60s and 70s. We're going to have got him in the 90s.
So Monunga has had his moments last season against some bad defenses. When this happened with the Eagles, I think they were actually beat up, but he could take a step forward. I didn't see it from him last year personally. I didn't see like big explosive runner. I saw him take advantage of bad teams and struggle against others. He's just kind of a rookie last year. I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it. What I do know is that the Bears did not add anybody. So they're bringing back Swift. He's another year older, another step slower.
Another step slower. It's Troy's two favorite phrases.
My favorite sayings.
To anybody
and if
who's
they
over the
didn't
age of 22 years old.
Then they're clearly leaning on Monunga's role from last year again. We think the Bears are going to be better than they were last year. So, yeah, he's probably the thing is, like, he goes around Rico Dowdle. I'd rather have Dowdle.
Just because you like the name better.
No, I just think that Dowdle's like the goal line back for the Steelers, whereas Monunga, I don't know. It could be 50-50 between him and Swift.
Pittsburgh's a fucking mess of a team right now. I wouldn't touch anybody but Aaron Rodgers, really. I mean, I might get a piece of Pittman. I might get a piece
You
of
don't like Warren?
Fryer.
I love Warren with Rodgers. I think he's going to catch like 5 passes
but that's
a
what I'm
game.
saying. Like, it's because of Warren that I don't want to touch Dowdle.
I think that Rodgers is going to keep both running. He can sustain both running backs, but the
Well, Rico
offense as a
doesn't-
whole might not.
Rico has caught passes before, but Rico doesn't consistently catch passes.
I think he can. I think he can.
Well, he
catch a few.
can. I mean,
Yeah.
he's had to before, but he's not. That's not his bag. Like as of late.
I think we saw enough pass volume between Gainwell and Warren where I'm not that worried about Dowdle catching like 3 to 4 a game or something. I think he can totally get
Well,
there and
Dowdle-
Warren get there too.
Does Dowdle catch as well as Gainwell catches? Because Gainwell
Dowdle-
is be a receiver.
Dowdle's a pretty good pass catcher. My point being with the Gainwell thing is that there's enough pass volume to running backs with Rodgers there, but we're back in the clock.
Njoku in this range if we need a tight end.
We do need to wrap up the tight end room, but we could also use another wide receiver, and Flanoy is still here.
At
We also Tank
189.
Dell.
Yeah, we got to take him now because he's not going to make it to the turn
Yeah.
if we want him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that where receiver
Oh,
drops
wow.
off after this, we kind of
We've
want
never
one.
taken Ryan Flournoy before. I hope it works out for us.
Man, like he's in the 17th, 18th round for all these, or 16th round here. I'm not worried.
It's so
about
hard
picking
not
this
to
one.
take him because he's sitting there at the 16th round and he's going to have 4 to 8 touchdowns on the year.
It's like, do you want 3 free spike weeks at the back of your draft for receiver when you've been drafting running back heavy at first?
And
Yeah, I kind of want that.
That's 3 free spike weeks if nothing goes wrong in Dallas's offense. If one of the
if
top
everything
2
stayed the
receivers
same.
goes down at all, there's
Yeah.
so much more production going for Ryan Flournoy. Look at that 13 target week happened because the receiver was hurt. That 6 target week happened, 9 target week, 2, 3. It's consistent. It's consistently bad in the middle of the season, though. I'll be honest there. But George Pickens and CeeDee Lambs are running fucking wild.
It's like we talked about. I mean, Dak is just such a prolific passer. He's got to raise a lot of ships, right? With him.
And his whole bag too is like, I mean, he forces the ball every now and then to CeeDee Lamb just because you got to keep 88 involved. But it's really whoever the play is for is whoever gets the ball. Like,
yep.
And the play design in Dallas, let's be honest, has actually been pretty good the last couple seasons. That maybe Dak is still working through his progressions, but you can kind of tell the plays are working out the way they're supposed to.
Yep.
But what I like most about what Dak is doing is all that pre-play stuff. It doesn't affect it might affect the fantasy score, but it won't show up in the box score. But all that pre-play stuff that Dak does before getting people set up in the right position, adjusting routes and coverages, and protections rather, not coverages. It's good stuff. You don't see the pre-play savants anymore too often.
Yeah, good quarterback plays is harder and harder to find, especially the masters at the line of scrimmage, the people who can actually run the offense.
Pre-play savants that I'm talking, because the arm talent is probably better than it's ever been right now. Like, goat for goat, this generation's goat is Mahomes. He's definitely more talented than our goat was in Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But he's not as good of a quarterback.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying with that.
It was the same argument for Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady back when they were both in their prime. Like, I thought far and away Aaron Rodgers was a lot more pleasing to look at. Like, if I was going to watch a football game and I was going to show it to somebody who had never seen football before, I would rather show them Aaron Rodgers than Tom Brady.
I thought Aaron Rodgers was better. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, back on the clock here. We can go more receiver depth with Tank Dell. We can round out tight ends with Njoku.
Njoku fell perfectly into our lap. I like that.
Yeah, and he's way past ADP. We should probably wrap him up here.
Yeah, pick him up.
Yeah.
It's so the ADP value as well. Something you said a little earlier kind of is making me take DraftKings ADP with a grain of salt now.
Yeah.
We are working with a bit more of a amateur base.
Yeah,
so
and also
the ADP for these guys is going to be a little skewed. Like, we saw Tyreek Hill, who might not play till mid-season, at 160 ADP.
Yeah.
So with ADP on DraftKings, take it with a grain of salt. But if you do find underdog that you're getting value at ADP, go ahead and buy the value.
I was just say too, there have been studies on how much ADP actually matters, right, for these basketball teams. Basically, just how does a player actually project out versus where they get taken. Yeah. What they end up finding out is this it's kind of obvious, but players before pick 150, the ADP matters more than after 150, and it's truer the earlier in the draft goes. So that's to say, the difference between the first first round ADP in the second, like pick, I don't know, 8 versus pick 15, that 7 pick difference is so much more massive than a 70 pick difference between pick 150 and 220.
Yeah.
Like after 150, it's all kind of a coin toss anyways. What are we talking about here with these caliber of players? Tank Dell, we think if he's healthy, he could be receiver 1 for receiver 2 for the
Yeah, just because Nico's as good as he
Nico.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even then, Tank Dell had 170-yard games in the past, and
So
like multiple.
they're a very George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb duo when they're both healthy. In fact,
Yeah.
they were the original George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb duo.
Except Tank Dell's not nearly the physical specimen that Lamb is, but you could see a lot of that downfield over the middle usage and the speedster with Dell, right? But all that's to say, we're talking about 3 to 4 spike weeks we need at this point in the draft, 2 to 3, 2 or 4.
Right.
Earlier
you're not
on,
drafting for
your first
consistent
round pick,
floors.
you need
Pick
consistent
180 on.
production, or you will not win.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I mean, from what is it? What is this? Like round 15 onward, you're not drafting for a consistent floor. You're drafting for weeks
Upside.
to supplement your roster. Like if
Yeah.
you've got bye weeks, you need somebody who can spike in the bye week. You need that.
Real quick on the clock here, we got 5 running backs already. I think we can hold out for Davis later, so that puts us to receiver, and I think Wicks, Horton, and Brazel are all the best here.
We don't have a lot of Horton or Wicks, so either one of those two will probably be all right for this team.
Let's go Wicks because we have Hurts, and so this gives us another Eagles player. Wait, yeah, we have Hurts on this team, so
Yeah,
that gives us another Eagles player in the stack. Also, I just think Wicks is a very good talent, and he's probably going to be the number 2 receiver, or could be the number 2.
Makai Lemon just got drafted in the first round, dog.
No, I know, but his role outside and goal line prowess, I think, is going to give him. He won't be the number 2 receiver by target volume, but I think by fantasy points, I wouldn't.
But he'll be the second most productive receiver in the offense, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was, but
Okay,
you're spot on with the Makai Lemon draft capital. The Eagles like made that pick happen. They went out and got him ahead of like the Steelers.
Yeah.
Who they started on the phone with.
Yeah, when you go out of your way to do that kind of stuff, it's pretty obvious you're going to give that guy some work.
He's going to get his usage, and we're assuming AJ Brown gets dealt out of there. But
well,
yeah,
I think even with AJ Brown in system, they would still go out of their way to involve Makai Lemon in the offense.
Lemon would fit well with those 2 other receivers.
Well, it gives AJ Brown a little more time to read on the sideline, so it'd be a win for everybody.
Yep. Yeah, Makai Lemon separating from the 3rd or 4th cornerback that they have to stick on him in the middle of the field or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that would be awesome to watch.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it'd be a fun time. It'd be a bad time as a Cowboys fan to watch Philly be that good. But as a football fan first, I would love to see Philly hold on to AJ Brown and find a way to make all that work.
I mean, I like Hurts as a quarterback, like a real life quarterback. I don't think he's that good of a passer to where I would be like super excited about 3 receivers. Could you imagine that stack though with like Dallas's offense or something, or like Dak back there, or Burrow throwing to
Devontae? Well, I don't have to imagine it because I'm watching Burrow throw to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and I'm watching Dak throw to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So I know exactly.
But I mean, with that legit option in there.
You mean Ryan Flournoy?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I
meant. You mean Ryan Flournoy?
All roads lead to Flournoy. Back on the clock here, got 5 running backs, 7 receivers. If we're going Malik Davis, we can probably get him at the end of the draft. So that puts us on to either Horton, Chris Brazel, a couple other names I could throw at you.
I mean, none of the other names you're going to throw at me I'm going to like. I maybe like Jahan Dotson as a flyer a couple weeks here and there, but
Brazel Horton.
Yeah, Brazel.
Okay, cool. Oh, no.
No! Who did we end up with?
We got Kalen Black for the 49ers. He's our rookie that I was telling you wasn't going to be used.
Hey, we might make out like bandits here because McCaffrey just played a 17-game season.
Sure. Sure.
We
I
might.
take him. I take Kalen Black for the record. I do draft
So
him.
that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not the worst auto pick in the world that could have happened.
Yeah, that sucks.
There are
We do have
way
Bryce Young on
worse.
this team, so Chris Brazel really fits, but someone's gonna take him. I don't think he'll fall back to us.
Brazil would be great, but now what bothers me a little bit is we kind of just knocked ourselves out of the Malik Davis stock.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
okay.
I mean, does an 8th running back add more than
Seventh running back.
Sorry, 7th running back, or does an 8th receiver add more than 7th running back? Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't
With
know.
these running backs, everyone. So we have 2 blue chip assets we know are going to produce.
We should go
Taylor.
running back, and we
Then
should
we
go
have
running
a
back
bunch
that
of
has
question marks, right? Manungai, Pacheco, Robinson. I think a 7th running back helps us
we got to
probably
go with
more
one of
than a
those running
rookie.
backs that is an injury away from lead dog though.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brazil just went anyways.
So
let's find Malik Davis.
yeah, Malik Davis is really the only one on that list. But go scroll up a little bit, see what else we got here.
Too far.
Piron's got no chance. Hemby's got no chance.
Gordon has a chance. He's another handcuff.
Etienne might get some playing time, but he's not going to get a ton of playing time.
No, not.
I don't know anything about his team.
He's got Hubbard and another good running back in front of him. I forgot who they had.
Hubbard does get hurt a little bit. He's got, I think it's Brooks is the other back, or he might be a receiver.
It's Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
no! Someone sniped.
No, we're so fucked.
To me, that leaves Ollie Gordon here. This guy was.
I guess because Achane does get hurt, so we might be.
Well, that in there. What if they don't finish out the season with HM, which I think is likely because what are they playing for? Well, yeah, what are they playing for?
And the NFL doesn't do that, bro. You only get 17
totally
games. They play all the games.
They totally do. HM will have a slight ankle tweak, and he's got to rest.
Well, that's an injury. That's not a team packing it in. That means he's hurt.
Sure. He could, yeah.
Gordon, I only go by what the teams fucking tell me, bro.
Yeah.
If they tell me the guy is hurt, then the guy's fucking hurt. Okay, guy? If you want to question it and be a skeptic, then you question it and be a skeptic.
Let me just read these players to get the recap before commenting.
Let me skeptically read these players real quick to everybody.
Caleb Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Rome Odunze, Sam Laporta, Kyle Manungai, Jalen Hurts, Xavier Worthy, Dallas Goedert, Isaiah Pacheco, Bryce Young, Isaac Tesla, Brian Robinson, Ryan Flanoy, David Njoku, Dontavian Wicks, Kalen Black, and Ollie Gordon rounds it there. Your thoughts on our team, sir?
I hate them all.
Same. This team sucks.
Actually, this is a pretty solid team, man.
Yeah, it kicks ass.
Troy's pretty down on these running backs, but I do believe that there is actual upside with Manungai. Especially since we really only need him to give us some sort of flex potential. We drafted heavy receiver and receivers who I believe will give us actual weekly production. So we really only need that flex position to hit here and there, maybe 4 times on the season, 5 times on the season. I think Manungai is more than capable of doing that. Great bench, to be honest. I'm not super excited about Black just because I don't like the San Francisco offense's ability to stay healthy. But we'll see how that goes. We might have struck gold on that, no pun intended, on the 49ers team.
Nice.
But we might have struck gold on that because of McCaffrey having played a full season last year. He very may well take a reduced workload or get injured this year, which will open up some opportunities for the depth players.
I don't always take the 49ers back up. But when I do, I split it just straight up in half between Kalen Black and Jordan James. I think they're
whoever they are, yeah,
as equally likely.
But that's always been the case for the San Francisco running backs. You want to get a piece of them because you know that team is going to emphasize the ground game, but you don't know who is going to actually be the guy. Take the Raheem Mostert years. Like we didn't know who he fucking was.
That's
and then
crazy.
There he was reeling off 200-yard games because the actual starter was hurt. Or Raheem Mostert's backup when Raheem Mostert would get hurt. Like you didn't know who it would be with the 49ers, but you did know that their running game was going to be strong. So every year you do want to get a piece of them because the offensive line is still good. The quarterback play is still solid. The receivers are still a bunch of weird collections of wide receiver twos for other teams, but they make it work somehow,
Yeah,
some
the
way.
49ers, the beat reporters lie to you the entire season, preseason all the way through. Shanahan lies to you, and so you end up in these situations where you're just guessing in who the backup running back is. All I mean, Isaac Guerrero last year, and then everybody and their mother thinking that dude, I can't remember his name, but the guy who was supposed to play above Elijah Mitchell
Yeah,
3 years
Eli
ago.
Mitchell is another one of those names to throw up where if
Adam
it
Schefter
didn't
gave
matter
us
who was going to play.
Adam Schefter gave us Eli Mitchell week 1 of the NFL season 5 minutes before kickoff. He said, all these other names out there are lies. It's got to be Eli Mitchell. Pick him up right now. And I did that right before see the kickoff. But no, my point is nobody knew Eli Mitchell was even going to be a thing. And then all of a sudden he was the starting running back for the Niners while Christian McCaffrey is getting healthy. It's crazy.
Goodness me, the 49ers.
So I just take some Jordan James and take some Kalen Black, and whoever it ends up being, good for me. Either way, I would rather have a bunch of other handcuffs back there, though. I'm much more confident in, but it's as good as any when it comes down to just needing an injury.
Well, to be fair to us, our preferred pick would have been Malik Davis, who's Javonte Williams' backup, and for Troy's point, he does believe that Javonte Williams did actually lose a step last year.
Yeah.
More specifically towards the back end. So
it could have been an injury, right?
The other end of it, he is now another year older, and he was another step slower last year. So we'll see how it goes this year. I do think Malik Davis is in line for a bit of an increased workload regardless, though, just because he played so well at the end of last season when they were feeding him all those carries in the last couple games.
Yeah, and they're not doing it. They're not going to give it to Jaden Blue.
Yeah, apparently they hate Jaden Blue. What if they're doing what San Francisco is doing and they're lying to us and Jaden Blue's actually going to be the starter this year?
Jaden Blue is probably a better athlete than Malik Davis, and maybe
Jaden Blue is the best athlete in our backfield right now. But
yeah,
the best athlete in the backfield goes to special teams. Yeah.
That's a lesson. Jahmyr Gibbs, you're a special teamer, buddy.
No, Jahmyr Gibbs is too special of a talent.
John,
he and Saquon Barkley are like the exceptions to the rule.
Jonathan Taylor, you're a special teamer, buddy. Get up.
Jonathan Taylor's not the best athlete in his backfield.
Who's better, DJ Giddens? Giddens is actually pretty good too. He's another handcuff I like taking at the end of the draft.
Yeah, man. You got to think about it though. Like the RB2s are usually dudes who are going to be seen as a better athlete because they're usually the pass catchers.
I think you would have
They have to operate in space better. They have to be quicker. They have to be shiftier. They're usually not as big, so they can't take as many hits.
Yeah.
So they're usually the lower you get on the depth chart, not the more athletic you're going to get, but the more likely you're going to be to just find like a freak athlete who is not good at anything that actually pertains to football, a la John Ross.
Good at the 40 time.
Yeah, a la John Ross. Yeah.
On the clock here, an underdog, half point PPR. Do you want to go James Cook, Ashton Jenny?
Oh, we don't have the screen up. We have first pick.
Yeah, James Cook or Ashton Jenny. It already went Cook.
Yeah, I would have picked Cook anyway.
Sorry, I meant to share the screen. Okay,
I actually would have put no. Yeah, I probably would have picked Saquon out of that grouping.
Do you want to go Saquon here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, I just mix all these guys up. I don't really have a preference. The only spots I'm avoiding for the most part is HN and McCaffrey. And even then, I just take them, like I said, half as many times, and I don't full fit these guys.
It's hard to ignore McCaffrey if you have like the 108 and he's there.
Yeah,
Like if like weirdly enough you're at the 110, I saw him sitting there at the 110.
Well, you could just
I
see
know
him
almost
have a reduced role all year, and then they need these wins at the end of the season, and then he's getting like 25 touches a game all of a sudden at the back half of the year, and that's because they absolutely have to have those wins.
Yeah, but does that justify the first round tag for him? No.
Yeah, if McCaffrey
Like,
does
what if
what
those
McCaffrey
first
does
10
for you in the
games are
fantasy
lackluster?
playoffs, yeah,
Yeah.
that absolutely justifies it.
If
They've
those
got
first 10 games are lackluster, you wasted your first round pick on 10 points to 12 points a game.
I disagree, but what it ends up coming down to is does I because of the situation I'm saying, like if McCaffrey scores 10 to 15 points for the first 10 games, and then scores his usual 25, 30, 35, 40 the back half of the season, any combination thereof, that's someone I would take at pick 8. And in fact, if I knew that ahead of the season, I would actually lock him in because he is performing at his best when all the money is on the line. That really, really matters here for
I
these
wonder if he
formats.
bets on himself.
What's that?
I wonder if he bets on himself and that's why he does it.
maybe the knee year.
Maybe his knee just
it's
feels
hard to
better in
imagine-
December than it does in November.
It's hard to imagine him making more money from betting on fixing games than just playing them with how much money he makes per game.
Well, why would he be betting on fixing the game? He would be betting on himself to succeed, and that's why he plays better in the back half of the season. He's got to buy his kids Christmas gifts, dog.
I'm pretty sure McCaffrey could afford Christmas gifts on just his contract.
Yeah, but he could afford better Christmas gifts if he's also getting betting kickbacks from betting on himself being successful, which he is.
I've got him in some drafts. Wouldn't be the end of the world if he took off, but I'm very skeptical of that spot. Same thing with Achane. Achane not from the injury side. What?
The only problem is they'd Pete Rose him.
Pete Rosen?
They would Pete Rose him if McCaffrey was actually betting on himself. They would Pete Rose him.
Turn him into an announcer.
Do you not know who Pete Rose is?
No, I do. That's why I'm saying they turned him into an announcer.
No, they would blackball him from the deserved gold jacket that he inevitably has waiting for him.
Pete Rose is just trash.
Pete Rose is a Hall of Fame baseball player who bet on himself to succeed.
He ended Ray Fozzie's career.
You're an actual idiot if you think Pete Rose.
No, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. He ended Ray Fozzie's career in an all-star game.
He's still a Hall of Famer.
No, fuck that guy. We're on the clock here. Do you want to go
Olave?
Olave?
Javonte the best, but I like Chris Olave and Zay Flowers as well.
Let's just get too late. Let's stick with Olave, I guess. Who do you want after the turn, though?
I don't know. When do we pick? Or are we
two picks from
now? We're the nasty picks.
Yeah. Do you want Javonte or Zay?
If Javonte's there, Javonte makes the most sense just because we need decent running backs.
Yeah, let's do Javonte.
In addition to James Cook and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Got to have dominance.
This is how you establish dominance over the other teams. You hoard all the really good running backs early, and you're okay with the middle depth of the wide receiver range because you know there's not going to be that much difference between the 5th round running backs or the 5th round receivers and the 10th round receivers.
You could see that with the volatility. I don't know. This year everyone is playing so running back heavy. It's just tempting to go running back lighter because if there's just 2 injuries to key players, like a Saquon injury and then all the Bixby shares hit, and you went receiver, like elite receiver, and then an elite tight end or elite QB, you could really separate this year because everyone is going so heavy running back so early. Going
against the trends definitely helps out here and there.
How you make money. It's the only way to do it. There's 700,000 people in this contest, and this is a best ball mania here. So you gotta get different.
Yeah, but there's being different, and then there's intentionally trying to be different. It doesn't make sense to be that different. You probably still have to have the same six guys that everybody else who's that good picked, and then you just have to have like four guys who are different.
There's a very
Let's be
good
honest, like you can't different your way out of Saquon Barkley dropping a 50 bomb on you.
no. But if he gets hurt and everyone's going running back early.
Sure. But you can't different your way out of that. Like Tank Bixby might have a 50-point game in him. We don't know. But we do know that Saquon does.
I see what you're saying. So basically all the players in the first like 2 to 3 rounds have these ceiling cases. And so you can't really fade any of them.
Why would you?
Kind of have to take them. Yeah, that's how I generally feel about all of them.
The only reason you would fade them is if you like the other guys above them. So like we're not over the moon about CMC, right? We would rather have a JSN, for example, or a Jamar Chase, for example.
I'd rather have any other player in the first round but CMC. Where I would start taking CMC is right before HN.
2-1.
Well, 2-1 is still like Genty or Cook.
I would rather have CMC over Genty. I don't know if I'd rather have him over Cook at this point in their careers, but over Genty, 100%. I'm not sold on the Raiders' offense.
Yeah.
They might get better, but I don't know. And I do know that whoever's lead back for San Francisco is going to have a great season, and the lead candidate to do that is CMC.
Who's a great running back himself. Yeah, much better offense, much better scheme. I'm not pushing back on any of that. I just feel like Genty's going to see more volume this year, and I think the offense will be good enough where, at least fantasy-wise, Genty's stats will keep up. I think
they're going to get too far behind in games to give him any actual work.
Because the only people they added, the only person they added, I think, was Mike Washington, who's like he's just a running back. Like he doesn't catch passes.
Yeah.
We're on the clock here. Watson makes the most sense to me. We can go DJ Moore though.
I like Joe Burrow.
I'll queue up Burrow.
That seems like the most value at the pick. Because that's like 350 to 380 fantasy points versus whatever DJ Moore and Christian Watson are going to get.
I think the quarterback said go. Okay, we're going to be on the clock here again. We got the chance for Watson or Moore. I would say one of those two for sure. Because we only have one receiver.
Do we? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, either one. They're both the same guy to me, except Watson's a little worse because he plays for Green Bay, but.
Yeah, let's roll the dice on DJ Moore, see if we can see if he has that elite run out, and they use him as much as we think they are going to try to.
I hope they do, man. I'm so sick of seeing Buffalo bring in a receiver just to fucking not use him.
Another slot guy, another slot guy, another slot guy, another slot guy. Yeah, it's been frustrating.
It's odd. It's an odd tactic. I can't figure out what their game is. Like, why wouldn't you guys just go out and get an actual receiver who isn't an idiot off the field and doesn't cause a bunch of locker room issues?
This isn't an analytical perspective, but it does align with what you're saying. The reason I think they've done this, honestly, truly, is because they had such a bad taste in their mouth from Diggs.
Well, that's that's the person I'm using in my head. Like, you could have gotten any of the other tier 1 receivers, but you instead went and got the only one who was going to have problems with Josh Allen. Of all people,
the receivers like Diggs. No, I'm not talking about his where he is as a player today. When that contract was out there, when he was open, there's nobody moving around like that. There's no receivers year to year that are just available that can turn your franchise around. AJ Brown is going to be one of these types of players this year. And it's just few and far between. Those like true number 1 receivers aren't just available for anybody. So if you have to take some guy with character issues, you kind of have to.
This is why guys like T.O. kept getting jobs. Yeah, okay. I get you.
And him and then dudes like fucking Martavis Bryant, like dudes that could potentially be that.
I was going to say Bryant wasn't even any kind of established. They just put up with him off the hopes and dreams that he was going to be something good.
Because that's how rare a truly dominant receiver is. Running backs, it's kind of like infantry in the army, there's just next man up. Like you can back ass your way into 80% of what Javonte gave the Cowboys last year. Right? That's kind of what we thought the Monungai play was. I would say.
I mean, Dallas literally did do that when they brought out Rico Dowdle as the lead back that one year.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck were we doing? To be fair, I did think that Rico Dowdle was ready to take on a bigger role. I didn't think he was ready to take on the solo role in an offense.
He proved himself a much better player than anyone gave him a chance to, and he did it as like a career practice squad guy. Rico is like a hero.
He's an everyman's hero for sure, but he is also an everyman's running back. Like, he just does the job really, which is pretty phenomenal thing to do. Yeah. It's not, there are not a lot of people who can say that they can do the job of an NFL player.
We're going to be back on the clock here real quick. It's a fast clock. So do you want to go like Sutton, Addison? We can go Rico or Kyle Monungai.
I think I'd rather go Godwin in this. Rico might be all right.
I'm okay with Godwin.
Yeah, Rico might be all right. It's because the Minnesota offense, I don't like it. I think the Denver offense is going to be really good, but they're playing some pretty solid defenses and some revamped defenses this year.
I got Godwin because the clock ran out there, but do you want to queue up Rico, Sutton?
Oh, I mean, and honestly, in this range, it's all good. It's all the same thing to me. I'm a little hurt that I put myself in the position. I told you to take Joe Burrow earlier, and my boy Dak is just sitting there waiting for me.
We can go Dak here.
Is this a best ball?
Yeah, this is a best ball.
Go Dak. The quarterback room of Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott, if they don't get hurt, we're so fucking set.
We are set. We haven't really bet. We bet on the Cowboys about the Javonte bet. Burrow's unstacked, but stacking's kind of overrated when you could just take the better player.
No, in best ball, I think stacking is a little overrated. I like stacking for DFS purposes, just because you don't want to have to pay, but you don't want to have to put that many variables in a week-to-week lineup. But in a season-long lineup, I think it makes a lot more sense to just go with the guys you think are going to be the best guys at their position.
I think you break to most points, but if all else is equal, certainly the stack makes more sense. And then,
but all else usually isn't equal, though.
Well, then that's my point. So the data out here is actually counter to what we're saying. The data says no, you need a stack. All the winning teams have had multiple quarterbacks stacked up. And the reason why is because, of course, they spike in those playoff weeks. And if a team goes off, you want as many pieces of that team as possible at once. Right now, the way our roster is set up, we're going to have Joe Burrow go off at the same time as Bengals players. And the team that has Burrow with Chase or Burrow with Higgins and he's going off, they're gonna get more points that week.
Yeah, but they won't be in our league because we have Joe Burrow, so that means that we took the stack away from somebody else.
Well, we took it from our 12-person pod, but in the playoff rounds, we'll be playing against other teams who outside of our pod. So teams that could potentially have Burrow plus Chase, Burrow plus Higgins, and we could be playing this year. There's like a 1,000-person final round, I think. So we're gonna have to beat 1,000 other teams where Burrow shows up in the final. Now this is more to our benefit. Where he shows up, he's probably only going to show up stacked, right? So our team is going to actually be more rare. Because we have a unique player combination within that. We'll be the only ones to show up with like naked Burrow, for example. And if he goes off.
What's confusing about that, though, is it seems like we're paying an entry fee to get into the pool rather than to get into the league. It seems like the league actually happens come playoff time because that's when you'll play against other people who could potentially have similar roster makeups as you do. Right now, it seems like we're in, like, picture the World Cup. We're in a pool of teams right now
Yeah.
rather than in a league of teams. Like, we're not in the actual.
Yeah, that's what pod plays like. Yeah, we're in qualifying right now.
Why do people do this?
That's fun to me, man. I
I
love
mean,
this.
it's fun to put together teams, but we can put together teams without so many bells and whistles.
I like the math problem of figuring out how complicated this shit is, like 11 months in advance or 12 months in advance. Back on the clock here. Probably want to go running back, receiver. Tight ends kind of got pushed. Kittle's 117 next. I'm good with Chris Rodriguez or Dobbins here, really. 2
Dobbins
seconds.
probably.
Dobbins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to be back on the clock in 2 picks. Wandale is, I guess, the guy I would go with. There's Wandale, there's Kittle. We can get it on tight end. By
Romeo
reaching.
Dobbs might actually be a bit of a gem at this range, but I
I'm
don't
okay
like the
with
New
Dobbs, and
England
we need
offense.
receiver.
I don't know. Maybe Matthew Golden might be all right. The problem is it's either New England or
I'm okay
Green
with Golden.
Bay, or we go one of your hated offenses, Cleveland. So
I'm going to
I don't
start
know.
up Golden.
Just wherever the bye weeks aren't.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
so
good on
Golden-
all that. Okay.
Golden aligns well from that perspective. He should have a bigger role this year. He's gotten a lot of talk from Packers veterans. And of course, the team as a whole did very important thing, which
Yeah.
was ship off Dobbs and also ship off Wicks, who have been the two of the guys that have figured more heavily in the rotation. So the receivers were all expressing frustration, Dobbs included, by the way, about their roles. So LaFleur gets rid of 2 of them. We should see a much more consolidated offense around the 3 remaining plus Tucker
Oh,
Kraft.
y'all aren't happy with your roles on the team, okay? Well, you got no roles with the team, okay?
Which was fucking Dobbs. Like, what leverage does Romeo Dobbs have to say that I'm a better receiver, or I should be paid more, or I should, like, come on. He's a very solid X. He did
That's
evolve.
what it was, like, because he put together solid production in the previous role that he had played, so he wants a bigger role.
Yeah, but
That's-
he can't do anything Christian Watson can't do. Watson's bigger, faster, and stronger, and can do more routes than
I don't know
just.
what you're seeing in Christian Watson. That dude is
He's a good player, man.
mid.
No, he's
Mid.
not mid.
He's mid as hell, bro.
No, he's not. If he stayed healthy, he'd be a top 15 player every year.
Mid. Mid as fuck. I'd rather have whoever this fucking Jaden Higgins is over Christian Watson.
You know Jaden Higgins, don't you?
No, I really don't know. The problem is I don't watch enough Houston games to know their wide receiver 4.
Higgins I knew from the pre-draft stuff last year. He's like one of these guys that's like 6'4", very, very, very fast, big body. People call him like the Nico Collins body double on the other side of the field. And that's how the Texans tend to use him. They both line up outside. They both do similar kind of routes. When Nico was injured last year, Higgins kind of filled that role. Just big X, like power. Higgins caught a lot last year. I think a lot of touchdowns. Could definitely take a step forward. I like him a lot, but we're relying on Stroud improving or at least staying the same, and I just haven't seen it from Stroud. I also don't think Collins will necessarily get injured next year. So what's that going to mean for the overall passing volume for the Texans? Probably not great for, second or third options receiving, especially because like Schultz is the second receiver really for the Texans. And if Tank Dell comes back, then Higgins is even more out of the way. I like him less than the receivers that go around him, like Khalil Shakir, like Golden, like all those guys.
All that being said, I'd rather have him over Christian Watson.
Yeah. Yeah. Back on the clock here. You want to get a second quarterback, Malik Willis or Cameron Ward or Darnold, or do you want to get a
Um,
first tight end?
we don't have any Cam Ward exposure. We don't have any Sam Donald exposure, rather.
I clicked
Isaiah Likely
Darnold.
might be all right. Who are the other tight ends in the range?
I clicked Darnold there.
Oh, that's fine.
So we got two. We're up in 2 picks. Tight ends are going to be Likely, then Gadsden and Sadiq. It's pretty much Likely is who I want, but this guy's got no tight ends that's drafting now. I'd be surprised if he doesn't take him. Wow.
All right, yeah,
Likely so.
let's get him.
Wow.
I was
That's
thinking about
crazy.
Gesicki maybe later on in the draft, but the problem is the Cincinnati tight end room is just kind of fucked.
It usually is. Let's take a look at that depth chart.
They got like Drew Sample sitting behind him.
Do they still have Hudson there? Because if they let go of Hudson, then Sample's kind of a threat, but not as big of a one as yeah, Hudson's
didn't
still there. Oh, and then that rookie's still there too, Eric All. That guy's
Yeah,
also a very good athlete. Yeah.
so that is a problem. I don't know. I don't know.
Gesicki, another year older, another step slower.
Well, that's actually true for Gesicki, though. It's not true for Javonte Williams.
I wasn't impressed with Gesicki last year. I took him in a lot of places, thinking he could kind of have the same year as he had 2 years ago. Now the benefits for Gesicki are the bull case. They didn't add anybody at receiver, so their third receiver is still Andre Yoshivas, who does have a fair amount of goal of touchdowns. But the way they use Gesicki is more of like a big body jump ball on the seam. So goal line threat. And that's what we're playing for when where he goes is at the end of these drafts. We're hoping for like, I don't know, 2 to 4 touchdowns on the season to go with like 2 catches for 20 or 30 yards. We don't expect volume from this play. The tight ends he goes around to, there might be other starters. Like we'll get to this when we get to the end of the draft, but I frequently find myself with 1 or 2 tight ends, and I need a third or even a second tight end starting past Njoku. And if I have to pick between these guys, like Gesicki is likely to give me 2 spike weeks, is the way I look at it.
Probably.
Ferguson is a much better deep touchdown target though for a similar offense, we can call it, but one that's actually going to use tight ends a lot more. So I like his ability to spike more than Gesicki. Stowers runs like a 4-4 or something at tight end. He's going to be the second one on his team, though, outside of Goddard. They have a lot of competition. It still hurts throwing the ball. It's not like there's going to be all the passing yards and volume in the world. So Stowers is not as good as Gesicki or Ferguson for me, though he's a much better athlete than both of them. And then of course Njoku is the guy I would take above those other guys. Dulcich, they didn't add anybody in Miami at tight end. It's still Waller's threatening to come back from retirement, but I don't think he does. So if there's nobody else in that room, Dulcich was actually like a very, very, very good tight end prospect in college, and he flashed with the Broncos a few times. He just had to go with, Sean Payton offenses and the Russell Wilson experience. I think Dulcich could get like he's the volume candidate, in other words, back here. Everyone else we're talking about we need touchdowns for, or else it won't happen. He's the one guy who could catch you like 5-6 passes a game because Miami doesn't have anybody. They just have Malik Washington as their leading receiver, and that guy's a slot receiver. They have the Caleb Douglas rookie, and then I think Nick Westbrook-Ikini plays for them. So he might be like the and Jalen Tolbert. So there's no competition for Dulcich there at the end. I really like Dulcich there at the end. So yeah, I'd mix in Gesicki with all those guys. We're back on the clock here. I think Trey Tucker stands out to me. I don't know who you like from these names.
Juwan Johnson might be all right, but I think we're solid on tight end for a second. I don't know.
I'm going to keep Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker might be okay. It's either Tucker or Jalen Naylor, but I like Tucker a little bit more.
One of those two guys is going to be the number one receiver for the Raiders. Naylor profiles more as a slot, though. Tucker, of course, has that 4.3 speed, plays outside. So to me, he's a number one receiver there. But
I
um,
feel like for the first few weeks of this season, Kirk O'Chains is going to be out here just slinging that thing.
you want to get Spears here?
Either him or Brian Robinson.
Shit.
Same kind of situation for
I
him.
don't think I got it. Oh, I barely got Spears in time. That was close. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
same
could have
kind of
gone either way
situation
there.
for both of them. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Brian Robinson might be the better late round handcuff just because Bijan gets so much usage throughout the season. Running backs get hurt.
Yeah.
And with high usage, there's a good chance that he gets hurt. So it's good to have the backup, the handcuff for that guy.
I think that's
And given
that's
the
a point
people
off.
around him, who's that? Dylan Sampson in the same range. Like,
Yeah.
just given the quality of running backs around a guy like Brian Robinson, I feel like you're not missing out taking him.
Tank Bigsby going after this whole range makes no sense to me whatsoever. I think he's the
It's because of
strongest handcuff
Saquon.
this year.
It's because of Saquon. But I get it. I get where you're coming from is the same place that I'm coming from. A high usage running back. Why aren't you taking the handcuffs?
Saquon's also older and he's had season-ending injuries before. I don't only think Tank Bigsby has his handcuff upside. They actually just use him too during games. And he's probably because he looked as if not as electric more than Saquon as a runner last year. I struggled
Saquon
with
was hurt,
seeing
but yeah.
Bigsby not well, yeah, but what if he's still, kind of banged up? He's another year older, another step slower.
He's probably not going to still be hurt, but there's a chance that he gets hurt again.
Yeah. But just as far as the handcuff plus the actual talent, I just think he's past pick 150. He's like the best running back on the board by a long shot. Robinson I have as a close second there, but it's all the same bet. Is the starting running back going to get injured?
Robinson doesn't sit past Bixby usually.
No, Robinson usually goes first. But that's what I'm saying. Like Bixby to me stands out more. We ended up taking Tajay Spears, of course, and his situation I think is like similar offense to Robinson. Like the Falcons, you could say the Falcons and the Titans might be as successful as each other. Probably edge to the Titans there, I'd say. On the more successful outcome, Spears is interesting because in the coach speak, like the Titans coaches have been asked about the running back situation, especially with Nick Singleton getting drafted there. And the coaches, for some reason, I think I shared this with you before, but they always mention Spears and they add in Pollard like they forgot he was on the team. Like, oh yeah, Tajay Spears can catch these passes and he can do this. And then, oh yeah, and then Pollard's like a good running back too.
They're doing the 49ers shit where you don't know who the starter is, but we all know it's going to be
Pollard. Starter is, and I know Pollard is going to start for that team.
We all know it's going to be Pollard. That's why they're probably doing what they're doing is they're just talking up their backups.
The backups. Okay. Yeah. Hey, we're about to be on the clock again, so let's get ahead of this. Flanoy already went, so we don't get him for once.
Fuck.
You want to get your second tight end with Auden or Gunnar Helm? Do we want to go receiver?
I think Cade Otton has the same touchdown potential that Ryan Flournoy has.
Yeah, if not more, arguably.
He's got more concentrated volume throughout the game, in addition to the touchdown potential.
I'm with you.
The reality is Cade Otton doesn't catch a ton of touchdowns.
No, but he did in the 2 years prior. He had 4 each. So I was hoping to return to that last season. He does get a ton of volume though. If Evans is not there, or
between the 20s, Cade Otton's the guy. Well, if Mike Evans isn't there and Godwin is hurt, but even if not,
which is probably going to happen this season. At least half of that is true already, right?
Mike Evans is gone. We'll see what happens with Godwin and Egbuka. But
Godwin, I do believe you're older, of course.
I do believe that the Buccaneers offense as a whole got better with everybody getting another year older and another step faster because they're all young.
We're on the clock here again. Another receiver makes sense to me. I like Ted Hurst for Tampa Bay, big-bodied outside rookie.
Hey,
Probably going to
we're already talking about the Buccaneers. We may as well get a piece of them. But I
Yeah,
like
let's
Tank
do it.
Dell, but it seems like we can wait on Tank Dell to the next round.
I'm gonna click Dell because
Get
he's
him.
on my screen. Okay, cool. I got lost in the scroll there for a second, and I couldn't
That's
get
fine.
back up to Hurst
I,
in time. I
and
like Tank
at
Dell
this,
better for the record.
we were just talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Between picks 150 and what was it, 220, the margin of error is so thin, or it's so volatile between all the picks, that regardless of who you draft in this range, it's really just more about who you like better. And
Hurst, we
I
have
do
a
like Tank Dell to be somebody who could be productive this season. But Ted Hurst has a bit of an unknown excitement that I like about him.
Hurst has a lot of unknown, dominated Georgia State and stuff. But if we look at just the situation, we're basically saying fifth receiver on the Bucks. Not the only guy playing that X spot. Jalen McMillan, I think, currently has that, but Hurst profiles is
Yeah.
the better version of that, at least size wise. Don't know about consistent hands, and I don't know about is he actually good? He's a rookie.
Yeah.
We already, but there's multiple mouths to feed there, and if you contrast that with Tank Dell, if Tank Dell comes back in the Houston offense and he's healthy, he's a number 2 receiver, undisputed.
Yep.
Higgins isn't going to be better for him. Jalen Noel's not going to be better for him, and they got rid of Mechie and Xavier Hutchinson. So Tank Dell's going to go with much less target competition at being a better player. I think that's why I prefer Tank Dell to Hurst, but I'd still like Hurst for where he goes. Like this end of the draft, like, yeah, you can absolutely mix him in.
Yeah.
Baker's like Dak. Like if you're on the field,
Baker's open guy gets the ball.
targets,
Yeah. Open guy gets the ball.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if Baker's feeling spicy, then it's most covered guy gets the ball.
And that might be Hurst. Like he's going to be the biggest body jump ball guy they have this year.
I like when Baker's feeling spicy, man. That's fun for football.
Yeah, I love upset Baker.
Just be out here slanging that shit for fun. Let's check this out. Bro, in this range, this is all nonsense. I don't blame these people for taking the entire clock sometimes. This sucks. I like Zach Grant in this range, and Njoku I would probably take in this range, but it's more about team construction, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we definitely need a third tight end. That's for sure.
I like Njoku. Stowers could be something, but I like Njoku better. What I like about Njoku is we're getting a little bit of the known commodity with a little bit of the unknown excitement because it's a new offense mixed with a quarterback who hits the tight end and a coach who knows how to draw up plays and run an offense. So I think Njoku could have like a bit of a resurgence season here. Maybe we might even be watching Njoku's peak this season. Because this is for sure the most consistent quarterback play he'll have had in his career since Baker Mayfield.
If he falls back to us, he's easily my favorite tight end here. We actually just talked about this earlier.
Outside of that, though, if he doesn't fall, I would be okay with Gesicki as well, just because we do have the Joe Burrow stack, and these other guys are
one pick. He might fall to us. This dude's got 2 tight ends, so we'll see. Yeah, he fell.
Nice.
Go.
But yeah, in that range as well, especially for our team, I would have not minded taking Gesicki, just because I do feel okay with the tight ends that we've got at the top of the roster, and then the Burrow stack would have been nice to have some exposure to that.
Yeah. Let's start talking through our last pick here. Probably receiver, right? We got 6 of them so far. Running back's pretty stacked, and receiver, some most question marks.
We could take that late round flyer on Tyreek Hill.
I don't mind Hill here. I like Zach Branch. I like Dontavian Wicks. I like Adonai Mitchell.
I like Zach Branch to actually play. But I do think if we're looking for that late season pop, Tyreek Hill might be the better bet.
Shit, let's do it. Why did you do that, underdog? I missed it.
So you were talking about it earlier. There's a chance he doesn't play till the middle of the season, but if he does play, more than likely he gets signed with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are going to be playing for the AFC West, or at least for a playoff chance, which means that it's going to be all hands on deck towards the end of the season. Tyreek Hill is actually another year older and another step slower. And Travis Kelce is like 2 steps slower after aging a year. But we'll see what these guys can put together. They were elite in their time, and there's no reason that they can't put together one more really good season working with Mahomes if he comes back healthy. This is all an asterisk on whether or not Mahomes is right and healthy.
Let's try and get our full team listed up here. Just to do a quick recap.
Damn, what a quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback room dominant, right? Burrow, Prescott, Darnold. What did that cost us? Our running back room is still awesome. James Cook, Saquon Barkley, Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, and Chauncey Spears. Receiver room is where we got a few question marks, but if it all hits right, like we're catching a lightning as soon as it hits the rod. Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Matthew Golden, Trey Tucker, Tank Dell, Zach Branch. And then tight ends, late value, basically. Isaiah Likely, Kate Otten, and David Njoku. Playing the touchdown hits there for sure. And then trusting that Likely's role in the offense takes a big step forward with no receiver competition while Neighbors is out. And, of course, a Harbaugh guy being brought in to dominate.
Well, we'll see about that no receiver competition. I do think Malachi Fields is going to come out and shock some people.
He'll be very involved. He's going to get playing time because he can run block, right? We talked about that a lot.
I agree. He was also one of the, if not the main pass catcher his entire time in Notre Dame. So
I could see him having the same rookie season that Higgins just had, maybe a little better. Jaden Higgins for the Texans, 100 half-point PPR points. He's just on the field a lot because he blocks. Kind of the same thing that happened with Trey Harris, his rookie season for the Chargers last year. Big receiver, blocks downfield. I think, honestly, the same thing we're going to see it with Dejon Stribling for the Niners, too. That guy was drafted just to run block downfield at receiver.
Well, they need it, man. If you're going to be giving the ball to
they're going to be on the field. The only thing is
swing passes, yeah.
The only thing with Jackson Dart throwing, I'm not impressed I think he's a bad thrower of the football, actually, like all things considered.
I think there's a lot of things bad about Jackson Dart, but yeah, that is definitely one of them.
So, we do have hopefully more consistent volume with Kate Otten behind him and the Njoku spikes. There's an argument we could have gone 4 tight ends and just, left Zach Branch off entirely. But with our receiver room, we kind of needed to spell him a bit because these guys all have question marks.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Chris
every
Olave,
single one of our
Jordan Tyson. So probably
it's a lot of upside, but it is also a good chance that we completely flop in the receiver room.
Yeah. So with this team, if anything, maybe taking back Darnold and adding a receiver earlier so that we could go 4 tight ends late would have been the move. But I don't really have a quibble here. I think this is still a pretty solid team.
I mean, the other thing, though, is it's a best ball, though. So that flex position could just be taken up by one of our excellent tight ends.
It's a half PPR, so I can't.
One of our excellent running backs as well.
I think every week it's these 4 who are mixing for our flex.
Right. So then we only need 3 receivers to have at least good games. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we definitely
PPRs, we have touchdown threats here.
The margin, the room for error. We minimize the room for error here. But that being said, there are better receiver rooms in the world than the one we have assembled here today.
Yeah. I still like it though, especially if Godwin doesn't get hurt. If he doesn't get hurt, this team looks.
If Godwin and Olave both stay healthy, we fucking did hit. We really did.
Yeah.
But if they get hurt and Tank Dell doesn't come back and do anything, we kind of just punted this lineup.
Yeah, that's all good to me.
It's a lot of I mean, that's the thing. When you're drafting this early in the offseason, those ifs are okay to have.
Right.
Because it's all if. It's literally all if.
All right. Coming up here on 3 hours. Think I'm gonna go and call it. Got people coming over for some steaks tomorrow.
Nice.
Got to clean the house.
Not nice.
What you got going on this week?
Sleep.
Sleep. Nice.
No, man, I got to take care of grandma.
Yeah.
All grandma, all the time. A little bit of everything there, but he's getting better with his leg and well, with both of his legs, really.
I'll
And
try
then-
and find some more time to stream later this week. Stuff's gonna pick up, so if you want to, you can have like a solo. You can do, of course, go solo anytime.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have time. There's just not a whole lot of solo content to do right now because you've already done a way too early fantasy draft. You do one when the schedule gets released, and then you're pretty much fucked until the end of preseason.
You can keep drafting best ball. You know, you use your account. We'll keep running it through there.
We'll see how that goes. But there's just not a whole lot of solo content to do. I mean, there's a lot of like you see the guys breaking down film, and I could do that probably as well as anybody, but it's already a saturated field, and we're already trying to get in on a pretty niche market. I'd rather just kind of keep going on this. But we'll see what happens. If I think of some solo topics to run, then yeah, obviously I'll run a couple videos, but
yeah, you can just do like larger thoughts on offenses and stuff like that. Whatever.
It's more just being hard up for content because nothing's really happening in the NFL right now.
All right, man. Let me let you go because I'm gonna pee my pants if I don't.
Then I guess I'm letting you go, actually. Alrighty, guys, for the Rowdy Bros stream, thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful night. I am Goo. That's Troy.
I'm Troy, and I'm about to stream again.
Double stream.
Double stream.
Double stream. Good night, everybody.